What's poppin', people? Welcome back to the Misplay for Game podcast. We're here on episode 15. We got the Caster Regional. As always, I'm your host here, Andrew KnTElixar.
Hey, the internet. It's your boy Tom. Thanks for having me as always. It's regional season, baby. I'm very excited.
Hell yeah.
I am not dropping out of the event to cast. I am not dropping out of the event to cast. I will play all 7 rounds.
And we have a guest.
Well, I am out of the screen. There we go. It's me, TommyNT, canonically on at least 2 sticks.
Hell yeah.
That Mirage is bad and Shine Great is bad. Don't play them for Salford Regional.
Alright, now that we've got the propaganda going, yeah. Merge chat is broken because it wouldn't be a podcast stream if there wasn't some sort of tech issue. So yeah, that's what our tech issue is this week. We've got some stuff to talk about. We've got none of the raid and trade results because they're still not publicly available, despite the best efforts of everyone involved. Please use Limitless.
Yeah.
You do have the VODs though.
We
and
do
they have
have
been
the
going
VODs. Yeah, finally, at least those are free. I think our full VOD is somewhere. Couldn't tell you where. If your drops by in chat, then he'll let us know. And then other than that, you should be here on the YouTube or on the Twitch, but mostly on the YouTube if you want to watch the VODs. They've been coming out every single day. I think 2 came out today.
3, I think.
Some members ones as well.
Yeah. So, content. I think there's 2 coming out tomorrow, and then after that will be single games. I left my recording phone in Bolton. That was a whole thing.
I have it now.
Yeah, so it's a real good thing that we had the regionals VODs to make sure that daily content continues. General housekeeping things to do as always. Hit the follow on like YouTube and Twitch and all that. If you have Amazon Prime, give us Twitch Primes. It's free. I will chill for a small amount of time because that's now controversial. Thanks for supporting me to the point that it is inconvenient to other people. Yeah, fellas, how we doing around the horn?
Listen, it's been interesting. I like the feedback because it's hashtag suffering from success and all that shit. But like, hear me out. We're here on an audio medium, technically speaking. At some point, you gotta plug it somewhere on a podcast. We have, for example, listeners on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Thanks for listening, by the way. So granted, you can still watch it on Spotify. Something that will never make sense in my head, but
yeah, it's weird.
You can watch a podcast on Spotify now. Yeah, otherwise it's all right. We got Salford on Sunday or a week tomorrow. Got testing tomorrow. Got a bunch of stuff going on. Could be one of those. I just like at this point, boys. I'm like we're halfway through BT16's reveals on the Twitter account. Oh, let me out. I'm done.
My thing is like I think me and Trix are like experiencing the same issue in like slightly different ways. Where I'm like every deck that I play feels like dog shit, so I'll just take whatever is the most fun right now. Whereas like with Trix, it's like I'm playing my deck and 1 week it'll be like, oh, this deck is so sick, and then like you'll go to like a locals the next day, this deck is so shit, and then like you'll go to your third locals, wow, this deck is really good, and it's just that. But it's like he's experiencing that through one deck. I'm just like every deck feels mid, so whatever. I guess I'll take Kuzuha maybe.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
I'm just like, I am ready for BT16 now, but I'm just like, I think it's just nerves at this point. I want Salford to be done with so that I can just be like, I'm done. Like I'm out of the BT15 gulag.
The BT15 gulag is real, by the way. Like I was talking about this with somebody the other day. It's just like sometimes you get a long format. This is not the longest long format we've had in the last year. Like 13 was a monster.
Mm-hmm.
It just kept on going forever. But I would play BT13 again before I played 15.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
I think there was more variety in 13.
Yes.
Like I know people don't like aggro or whatever. Like I understand that to an extent, but it's not that it's like that. We talked about this before on the show, so I know this is like people are already ready to be like, this guy has one take. But the whole format is centralized around one form of removal, which is deletion. And when the entire game is like, how well do you play around deletion? And then the decks get to be better or worse based on how well they play around decks with deletion effects. It's like, yeah, the whole thing is a binary scale. It's really boring.
My thing with 13 was that like decks that were consistent inherently. And the best decks of the format, for example, Shine wasn't consistent, so it just had high roll. Mirage didn't have Zudo Ace as well as training, so it wasn't really like a consideration. There were people playing it, but it was never quite there. So then like the tier 1.5 decks got to like do their thing. You had your Greymons, your Melgas, your
Alpha.
Alphamons, your Hunters, Belphamon, whatever, right? There was like, yeah, technically Shine was the best deck, but then like everybody was like on the same playing field. I think post trainings where everybody just has access to artificial consistency, it's just basically like how good is my deck at either playing as early as possible or doing something so unfair you don't really get to play. And yeah, deletion's crazy because we have 2 armor decks that just don't care about deletion. Bouncing is really good. We have decks that flow off of deletion. So it's a weird meta for sure.
Yeah, like we have the best board control by a deletion deck maybe of all time in Leviamon. Like it's a reactive version of a Belphamon. And it's like even that is in some capacity like not significant enough to completely stonewall some of these decks, which is just nuts. Like the amount of like the arms race has gone from like the ban list is here, no more mill, I can play my greedy like swarm deck, hell yeah, to oh my god, somebody stop Ukomon.
And it's basically like you have like the Uko decks, and then you have like the Leviamon deck, and like the David decks, like the newcomers. Yeah, I think that's fair to say. Like the newcomers of the format, they were introduced in EX5, but being played in BT15.
That thing that was introduced in EX5 that wasn't purple really held up anyway.
Yeah, and then it's like, well, Levy can't really do anything about Mirage, so Mirage just kind of gets to go around unchecked. Doesn't care about Davis, doesn't care about Nume, doesn't care about Levia, and it just has the best matchups put into those 3 decks. And I think it's hard to argue against the fact that Mirage is the best deck. I think like either nobody out of your locals plays it, or you don't understand why it's the best deck.
Or you live in North America, which apparently seems to be the third caveat if you don't think Mirage is good.
Yeah, it just isn't converting there the same way it does everywhere else, which is
like
so
for
weird.
example, like Triggs, for example, right? He's playing a deck that in theory doesn't really care about Mirage, right?
Ideally, yeah, with the level 5 Rapid.
But then it's like, what if you don't have the level 5 Rapid?
Just win.
You just have to win. But then you're playing an armor deck against a deck that has Sword Strip and Bounce.
BT3 Terriermon is basically my other answer to the deck, but like you just bounce it, right?
Yeah, but at least they're bouncing that instead of something they want to bounce.
That's true.
I don't know. I think we start to get to the we've had conversations about like what do those 80 card ban lists look like, and I'm like, well, it's kind of a lot of the generics, right?
Zudo Ace, I think it's like it's
thoughts on Zudo Ace these days.
Card one of those cards that it just beats every single other Ace's ass, and we're just like, yeah. Blue Sorship turns out, Sorship Bounce still goated after all these years.
Yeah, they're like actively printing Hexablamon support in EX7, and like there's no indicator that Zudomon Ace is going anywhere.
Oh yeah, I mean, but we can do the tier list of like the decks that we think will top, to wrap up the BT15.
Yeah,
metagame.
I just think it's funny that like we're still, we have the like I can't just the podcast is going to be so different in February. When we don't have to be like, I can see something coming in the headlights in the distance. Oh god, it's Hexablamon with a steel chair. Like when we don't have to stress about that nearly as much, it'll be a lot more palatable.
Dude, it's gonna be so heinous when you have enough memory that like you can drop a Zudo and then swing a Snow Agumon off over something, just like straight up push it out of raising and just like kill.
But
yeah, it's actually nuts. Like I saw somebody talking about it. It's like Zudomon strips 2 cards, so like out of a level 6 stack, and then it's like Snow Agumon and the Snow Agumon out of raising with an egg and X antibody, and it beats every Digimon in the game. Everything.
But it's like I think Trix brought up a good point about how we're a lot of us, because this is our only competitive event for BT15. A lot of us are putting like a lot of time and effort into this event, and it's a 128 man event, right? It's like no bigger than like a Latin America event or like an Oceania event. It's about the same size, and so for us,
it's a
like
little bigger than an OCE event. It's like that. Most of those are like 98, something like that.
Right, but for a lot of us, this is like, oh, this is my chance to like prove myself this format, and it's like,
and it's a long format. It's exactly like the BT13 regional, where it's just like feels like most places like. Okay, I say that like Core isn't currently running like an event right now, but there are a lot of places that are just looking at BT16 like, okay, it's time to start testing.
Yes.
and we have a regional that we need to play right before we should be testing for another big
Mhm.
event. Because like we have the 3v3 coming up
That's
right
like
before Birmingham, I guess, as well.
Mhm.
It sucks that I can never remember the name because it's the second year they did it.
What,
Was
the
a really
Griffins
good-
Gaming one?
Gaming,
Yeah, but what's it called? It's got like a name. It's like Tamer Series.
Tamer Battle or something.
No, Tamer
Tamer
Battles
Battle,
isn't
no.
that the official one? Because it's like
The
Tamer
Battles
Battle
are the EX
3-on-3.
formats. Yeah.
I think this is just called the Griffins Gaming's like 3v3 Tamer event or something like that.
It helps because very similarly to the BT13 event last time, where Griffins was holding a 3v3 event for BT13.
Team Unified Season 4.
Yeah, there you go.
Sure, I'm calling it the 3v3.
It's Team Tamers.
So it's like, for me, that event, it's basically like I'm gonna go to it the same way that I went when I won the season 3, where it's basically the same team and we're just going to scope out the meta. And if I do well, that's great, but I'm not going to that event with the intent of like doing well. I just basically want to see what people are gravitating towards, because the UK is going to be the UK, and people are going to play decks that they should not be playing.
Someone's going to roll up with Amphimon again. It happened last time.
How's your machine matchup, King?
It's like, not to say that you're not allowed to play this deck, but it's like you can play this deck, just don't expect to do well.
To be fair, the total exclusivity this time is kind of an interesting change up.
No, it was total exclusivity last time.
Yeah, it was total last time.
Was it really?
Yeah. It didn't matter for your team, but Marcio's team was like, it was who gets custody of X antibody, because you have Harry, and then like Marcio was testing Bills with no X antibody because H needed it, and I think then H ended up giving up X antibody rights, and then nobody played with an X antibody card.
It was like I was testing Greymon.
That's what happened to us.
Yeah.
I dropped more Greymon so Beelzemon could have it.
It was basically like I convinced myself that I had to play Blue Flare. And it was basically I spent, I don't know, how many weeks was I on Blue Flare? Like at least like 5 weeks that I took Blue Flare to locals.
BT13 Blue Flare, right?
Yeah, BT13 Blue Flare. And I was just like, well, I have to play this because, we need a blue deck. It does a lot of the things that our team needs. But then the more I play Blue Flare, the more I'm like, I'm just playing like a glorified aggro deck. If I'm just going to play an aggro deck, I'll just play Red Hybrid. And it basically, the idea was that, well, I'm going to be seat 3, preferably against, either someone who puts their worst player on seat 3 or puts a deck that just cannot keep up with Red Hybrid on seat 3.
Mm-hmm.
Harry is playing Alphamon and he's stuck for the meta, and then we can just help Emily, but Emily is also just, capable of playing on her own. It's just, the entire Digimon, card pool to her left and right.
Yeah.
And it kind of worked. This time around, I'm not going to say what decks we're playing, but it's sort of like a similar concept. Like, I'm taking the deck that I'll be taking to Games Expo.
You already know?
Yeah. There's no way I'm not playing a different deck this format.
Yeah, the other interesting thing as well is, like, not everyone's gonna have their perfect list. Like, obviously Games Expo, you're gonna be trying to be tech for it, but even then, Games Expo is still really early in BT16's lifespan, and if you're not going to 3v3s, like, if you're not going to the 3v3, and if you're not going to pre-releases, you are gambling.
Yeah. That's kind of why I asked, because I was like, I'm obviously not giving anything away, but I was kind of under the impression that some of the lists you guys have been eyeballing are going to be tough to get a hold of on weekend 1.
Yeah, I have pretty much everything except for BT16 cards. Yeah. And even then, I'm not chasing a ton of stuff. But for example, for Andrew and Trix, I believe that's your team, right?
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious what me and Trix are going to be playing. If you've been paying attention to anything that's been on the channel, yeah, we're playing there. We need like 8 secret rares. Like, we're cooked.
It's rough.
It's like, we have a case on the way. Saf's like gang has a case on the way,
and then that's going to be wanting both the arms for armor vacuum.
You guys should just. I am also going to be a part of this case split. Somebody should just open my box. I'm not going to be here.
It's going to be like it's going to be one of those ones where, like, because the 3v3 specifically is like exclusivity, and it's not like it's not like our team needs 12 Magnum on X's. It's going to be like, okay, I pulled this. It's on loan. Like I was saying, like Marcio's, like, you guys' case is going to be like that. All right, who needs secret rares?
Yeah.
I expect to see these back on my desk by Wednesday.
Eventually, I was going to try and pick up my Terriermon stuff, but there's a greater good these things have to go towards. I understand that. I know where things fit in.
And you know how cooked the BT15 meta is when we're just looking forward to this.
Yeah, by the way, this is a
Mention-
regionals Salford episode, and we're like, how's the 3v3 looking?
Yeah.
I played
But-
some 16 today, and I forgot what
It's
it
just-
was like to play Digimon and enjoy it. Right
Yeah,
now,
with the
I'm on
grass
like
is
my casting grind. I'm like, yeah, I'm really focused. I'm powered by spite and my deep burning desire to not play this format.
Again, I have the like I want to do as well as I can because I've been working with some people on the deck that I'm taking, and not necessarily getting coaching, but like I've been working on the list like more recently now. I didn't abandon tricks, but it was basically like I just
You
got
abandoned it. Oh, I'm betrayed. Don't worry about it.
I got frustrated that my green deck didn't have like my tools, and it was just like,
You
what the
could have
fuck am I
played
doing?
Lightning Blade. It would have had
Lightning
piercing.
Strike was right there.
I could have played Lightning Blade. You guys are correct. That is a card that I could have included
But
in my deck
Fire
list.
Rocket is way funnier to resolve. And
If you're
Listen.
playing Terriermon, yeah.
I was told that all the correct green players are just going to tough it on quantum control, so maybe
That
you should
is-
play that.
no, that's what
That's
all
not-
of our cracked green players
You're
are
right,
doing.
You're right. My bad.
Like the fact, for example, Emily. You know, it's most people. I feel like I don't need to necessarily hide a deck that she's playing. Just I'm not gonna mention any cards.
Yeah, it's
But-
Leviamon.
Yeah, she was like, yeah, of course. She was like, oh, Mervalevia. You know, this is like I'm gonna pick up this deck.
Love
and-
Mervalevia. I have a playmat of Mervalevia.
Yeah, it's like I love this deck. You know, like it plays kind of like Bloom. You know, I get to, do
Yeah.
some stuff, and then I think the worst thing that happened was that random ass list that like topped. What was it? I'll find the event.
Latam had a bloom list.
I don't know if it was Latam. No, sorry, it was Play TCG. It was Play TCG Online Ultimate Cup, and
date?
I looked at that list and I was like, oh, this is also a 9th place. This is the same event that Chungman got a top every match.
Yeah.
I looked at the list and I was like, I understand the assignment. I know what I must do, and it just worked. And Emily's just like, you know, I'm gonna play plans, and if I get paired into my bad matchup, so be it. But you know, I'm playing Palmon. I wish I could do that. I'm a fake like green player. I only play Bloom because I have to.
I had a conversation about that with a homie Jambo the other day. Shouts to Tamer Jambo, who's got a YouTube channel. I wish I was a
Jambo
better friend.
TCG.
Jambo TCG. Y'all should go find it. It's Rena's Strongest Warrior is the search term you should use on YouTube.
Read the Strongest Soldier.
Rena's Strongest Soldier.
You
God,
are a
I suck.
shitty friend.
I'm a shitty friend. I'm a shitty friend. I watched it like this morning again, so I remembered to talk about this. Yeah, that sucks. Hey Jambo, my bad, bro.
It's okay though, because Tamer Jambo, all one word, searches fantastically.
Yeah, perfect. So peep that. But he and I were talking about like why I'm not playing Mill. And I was like, listen, I played Mill at Nets. I broke my brain. I don't want to do it again. But then I keep seeing it doing well. I'm like, shoot, what if? Because the other stuff I'm on is either going to be the dream and I have a great time and it's going to be
You know what you
awesome.
should play.
I want to play it so bad. But I'm going to sit down on table one, or sorry, round one, and I'm going to queue into Machine Drum.
No,
And I do it at
I'll
every
pick
event.
Machine, and I will
never,
save you.
no,
save
you
you this
never
time.
do. You
I
never
will
do.
save you this time.
You guys, I have the huddle. If you guys have never seen the Fanboy Squad before an event, it's hilarious because we have a big huddle. Everybody gets a big pep talk. You go and sit down. Everyone's like, "Yeah, dude, I'm XO popping off." I'm
I'm
like,
shitting myself before round one.
I played against BT4 Cranium on like it's every event for me. So at a certain point, I'm aware that the odds could shift, and I could play my pet deck, but I'm not sure if it's this one. I would love for it to be.
Okay, this is the one event that you are actively trolling if you bring Rashid. They lose to, like,
Vaccine,
all-
really bad.
they lose to all of the top decks. Like, the top 5 decks, Machine loses to it.
Does Machine lose to Mirage? Thought they popped enough tamers.
Yeah, but they're
way
just on
slower.
boost and training now. They like, why play Thomas until you absolutely have to? Just set up 8 delay options that they can't interact with and go to town.
You also
Which
do
is
that.
why I should play Mill.
And you should
Mirage
also-
kind of shuts down analog man because like game one draw on.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Okay,
right,
one
and
draw, one
also,
lose
You
3.
can bounce it, you saw strip the machine, they can never go into Chaos X.
Yeah,
Like,
never mind. Fuck machine.
right? It's like they lose.
We're
to
5 minutes in. I can
Angels.
say it.
It's like they lose to.
Oh, that's long
to
gone.
Angels, Mirage, Levia.
Yeah, Levia beats machine. Like you play something from trash, and then you just go, okay, pop the highest, pop the lowest. Oh, machine's also the highest and the lowest. You can't protect yourself twice.
Well, as long as you've got 2 of the sources, right? So if you're Chaos
thought
X, you can do it.
I thought it was like Greymon.
Isn't it?
No, well, so let's assume this is a judge ruling moment. This is not an interesting one. If you are a Chaos Dramon X and you have Chaos Dramon and Machine Dramon in your sources, each of those 2 effects can separately protect.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but
So-
if you're just Machine Dramon, you get smoked because it's the
That's
Grace
also,
Nova
and
ruling.
then it's exactly like Grace Novamon, and in some cases, War Greymon can get around that by playing things like Ultras mode. So as long as you have duplicate forms of the Inherit, which was like the joke about like Rowdy Rockering in another Greymon X, like it just like none of that's real. But as long as you have 2 cards that are not going to be beaten by an interruptive effect second in a row, then you're good to go. Anyway, that's how machine. It's like I said, the voice he's gonna get hand looped by Mirage. I forgot. It doesn't matter. But look, I might play it. Fingers crossed. I don't want to play the thing I've been practicing because I don't think it's fun. But it is on brand. Anyway,
Yeah,
speaking
it's
of
like
fun and on brand,
okay. Well, no, let's shit on machine some more. I love shitting on machine because it's literally like Digimon Boomer deck. Because okay, you gotta lose to like everyone role playing. That just
Marcy's gonna play bugs in the next format, by the way. So we invite the comments early.
Green machine, Mr. Dr. Abundance and the Green Bean Machine.
I love being a contrarian here on this show. It's my favorite part. Sometimes I choose, if you guys don't know, sometimes I choose answers I don't agree with on Lethal Living, just so that there's a different vote. And one of my favorite things about being a contrarian is just like talking shit. So if you guys think bugs is green machine, you have a hole where your eyes should be, and you should put the eyes back in. Because I don't know how you can arrive at that conclusion other than go, it's got a redirect.
unaffected by effect.
Yeah,
It just forces people to, play options, which low-key, we should be playing options these days. Like, have you guys read, like...
Double Typhoon is the
Fanlong?
future. A search card that is also an object in security. Good lord.
Yeah, just like, I think because of Overflow, we're back at a point in the game where, like, playing options is... good stuff, guys. We should do that more. Like we can dedicate some space in our deck for removal. We don't all have to like raise from stack and do our when digivolvings. We're allowed to, play some off turns, maybe like set up, and that's basically BTC.
In your head, you're thinking like Sorai, and in the average player head right now for 15, they're thinking Fire Rocket and Security.
I mean, yeah.
That's the option card they're playing.
Well, yes, but it's like Bugs is not machine because it's just a means to an end. I was going to play this deck no matter what, but it's like, I mean, yes, I have maybe 2 redirects and I punch. It's still green. I just have some protection.
So when you win the first locals, I need your undefeated bugs list, so you can flex that ace that you got.
I don't know if I'm going to win the first locals on bugs because the format is still kind of hostile to it.
Yeah, you're gonna get smoked. Bugs doesn't get good until 17.
Well, it's more that like the armor matchup is
awful
my game to lose.
Nah. The armor players.
No, how do you ever be armor on bugs?
Well, what were you saying, Andrew?
I'm saying all of the armor players will simply be broke, and unless they're part of a case split, will not have 4 secret rares, and therefore your deck will function better than their deck. So you should win. You just have to dodge me, Trix, Liam, and everyone in the case split.
Liam's not playing armor.
True,
I do think
right.
there's layers to it too, because it's like, not that we ever get into market watch stuff around here. But one of the things that they do is that like sometimes you see like artificially hyped cards in the English format. My mind immediately jumps to Ulforce back in 11, a deck that was so expensive to never convert. And it's just like some of those problem cards where it's like people are like, I don't think I want to get out way ahead before anyone tells us we're idiots. Magnamon X is going to do better than Ulforce did. But some cards are going to be like kind of, the shelf life is going to be a lot harder to sort of squeeze your way into for that.
I
You
do
know, like, it's
wonder
like,
if Magna X is going to be that first chase rare that goes back to like the older Digimon like
prices.
because like
no, I
Nothing will
remember.
ever be 120 Omnimons. Like
Yeah, those are
120
bad. Those are
Like
bad.
120
The
pound Omnimons.
Apocalypse got really bad for like the 3 weeks Apocalypse was legal, and
It
you
was
needed
because
them
of
to
the
win your
event was.
Ulti Cup.
Yeah, there was like one event that was legal, right?
yeah, but I'm thinking
Well, there was
like
like one per region. Yeah,
do you remember when like the Silver Darkness Bagras were like 200 and like the
those are campaign rares.
Yeah,
are
those
tricky.
disappeared. Like those did drop off a cliff, but like there was a time that the chase rares were going for a lot. Like if you pulled like the chase Alter S, it was
Oh my
going
God, it
for
was
like
less-
actual money.
less than a year ago.
Kaiser Coliseum Omnimon.
Yeah, that's a
With
great
Omni-
one. The one from 12. The one I was thinking of is all of the digital foil rare campaign rares from 13. Those are
Oh,
all
yeah.
Yeah,
expensive.
those are all good. Oh,
They
like the
haven't
gold
fallen off.
rares in
11.
11 when those came out. Like those were all
Yeah.
like £300-400. Like
But
Magna
those
X
have
is
always,
playable.
those have always been like that. It's just more that like if you're going to the tournament, you're not prioritizing like alting your deck right now.
Yeah, but like even if you're alting your deck, you're
Unless
not
you're
going
chased.
for the I'd win alt. And I would be curious to see if that alt goes to like the moon because it's a like chase card that you would genuinely play plus VMon tax plus L plus ratio.
If it's like the last time that happened in 13, what will happen is that those cards will see way more traffic on things like Card Market or TCG Player in the first 3 weeks, and then they'll fall off a cliff because people are going to try and flip the one super rare one that they find for just a playset of their min rare ones. So that is what happened with the Shines, for example.
You have the other way. I feel like Trix is like here on this podcast, probably like the only person that's going to try get like his alt arts like ASAP.
Does that card have multiple alters?
Yeah, but it's only got the one.
Okay, thank God.
Yeah, but like it's like, you know, an altar of a secret. I mean, he's done it before multiple times, you know, Jesmon player and
It's just a concept, guys. If you
work hard enough.
nothing will be as bad as you getting your Gold Rapids available.
Yeah,
you're done now. It's over.
Yeah, the Rapid X's, he's gonna see double digits and go, oh, Child's Play.
You know.
Fuck me, is that only 100?
99. I can do that.
Yeah.
I got another one in me.
Also, it being the secret rare and like being a, you know, a BT12
it's not going to be 100, by the way. There's
yeah, it's going to be super quick. Like
I bet you it's can I call this now? I think there's it's the bad secret, right?
It's the not as good secret, yeah.
Yes, sorry.
You're not paying
Yellow
tax.
vaccine armor wants them both, but Terriermon is not as played as VMon armor.
Yes.
Well, I don't know because this is BT12 Beelzemon, where basically like the people that go to starter decks, this is where they are going to like invest the rest of their budget. And so like not the casual player, but the average like Terriermon, you know, Moment High enjoyer is gonna like want these cards.
I get what you mean.
Yeah,
but it's not gonna be
I think
like I'm not saying it's bad. You think it's gonna be the same price as Magna X?
Maybe not.
No,
I think it will be a third cheaper than Magna X.
Yeah, same.
Maybe yes, but they're going to be like the
there
same.
There are Reddit
demand.
posts about one of these cards.
It's going to sure, but it's about the same demand because like conspiracy theory, you know, tinfoil hat on yellow vaccine is probably like the
right?
It's probably like the best BT16 deck.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's just like
it is the if you want your
engaged big guy, but...
if you want your top.
Yes, I think that's like the most. Yellow vaccine armor is like the most brain dead. Like I want my top because the deck is just so self-contained in what it does, and a lot of the times people have to play around you, not the other way around. Like if Patamon hits turn 1, like
Patamon into Rapidmon, get a blast timing DNA, and then turn into Rapid X.
What are you?
Blast timing? Just open what Awakening? You don't even need Sparkle. Like Awakening or Sparkle off of the hit. Like okay. Answer this.
Emissary.
We don't have to talk about Emissary again,
right?
Do we?
It's like, why work harder when you can just Emissary?
I had a thought about that, like when Patamon gets hit, how will I feel about Emissary? And I'm like, still bad, but like, am I cool with Emissary without Patamon? Like, you'd at least have to play TKs.
I mean, yeah.
I'm not. I've decided just now
That's
saying
what
it
I'm
out loud. That's not a real drawback.
The Nume players, they're already like, oh, good job, bros. We got our RB1 Monzais. Now all we need is like Valkyrie and maybe
Rapid
like
X.
maybe like a 5-pound Ukomon, and they're like all chilling.
Numemon played some Rapid X.
Yeah, they got some rapids.
Because like
but
you go Protoform into Rapid X.
not
Sure.
normal.
Yes, but it's more like they already have like 80% of their deck. They pick up like 2 of each, 2 super rares, 2 secret rares, and they're like practically done. I feel like there's going to be a lot of Numemon because of that reason, since it's sort of like the easiest deck to build competitively if you already have everything else. Like the bug players, they're all like, yeah, but I don't want to play that promo Kuagamon, or I don't really want to justify spending like $30 on it.
Yeah, if you were going to
And
be a
it's like-
Nume player in 16, you've already built.
Oh, you've
You've
got
already
everything.
bought Nume stuff. Nobody's going like, oh, I didn't really want to play it when it was one of the best decks in the format, so I've decided to play it when it's one of the best decks in the format. Like, what are you doing? Like, you have your 40 Nume cards already.
The bug players, they're all like, oh, this doesn't look good. But Tyrant looks really good. I want to play that, but I don't want to play the current version. So I'm not going to pick up the cards now, but I'll pick them up later. Yeah, that's...
I'd have to see, because I wonder what you guys think about this. I don't think Numemon gets worse next set. I think it's probably better. And
It gets better, but so does
if it's not
competition.
Magna Armor, it's probably Bediff.
I think it gets better, but everything else around it also gets better.
Yeah.
Is it enough though? Like Numemon is uniquely positioned to just be like, hell yeah, I'll take another Ukomon.
No, I'm still saying
Yes.
it. Like, I think that if Take, the Levia player, didn't hit the armor player round 1 at Nats, we would not have seen Nume sweep. Because in the triangle, in my
I'll give you
opinion, it go like, you remember the mem gauge that we had that was like, I know what the best 3 decks are, or like the best deck is. I said I can tell you the 3. Now that I'm not held at gunpoint, the 3 are Magnamon Armor, Rapid X, and Nume in the Fire Emblem triangle. Like, it is like Nume loses to Magna, loses to Rapid, loses to Nume. That is the triangle, and then Imperial's like the weird thing that doesn't play the proper elements, but is technically on the table.
It's a free type.
Yeah,
It's
it
not
is.
in the triangle.
It is straight up the free type.
And then-
triangle.
And then the unknown is Levia is technically like decent just because it... The problem with the vaccine armor deck is that it takes forever to kill you. It doesn't actually like kill you that quickly.
Sure, yeah, I agree with that.
It's like, yeah, you make a Rapid X very quickly, and then what?
It was like Bushi Agu Puke Box. That was like how it originally started topping.
Speaking of
weird one.
Bushi Agu, I just want to throw back to Jambo again. I laughed my head off when I saw that. Bro is on demon time trying to win this. Respectable to drop the deck list the week before regionals.
Yeah,
We're working on it. I don't think that he's taking that exact 50.
He'll just win. He'll just win.
He'll just win though. But for example,
Go
like
ahead and scout
Terrier,
me out. I'm not gonna lose.
Terrier and like Tyrant kind of get to exist. That's why people are like, oh my god, Tyrant is going to be so oppressive. It's going to be like one of the best decks. And I'm like,
At locals.
at local, sure.
Whose problem is an oppressive best deck in the format if they're not already playing Digimon right now? Like, there is already a couple oppressive best decks.
And then like,
I'll
Trix
play
is,
against
like,
Leviamon in a while.
me and Trix both are aware that like, while Terrier is objectively better than it was currently, you still have to play like a handful of cards to like really like try to push it. The deck is definitely better, and it can definitely hang out with like the top decks. That's not, it gets to play one of the secret rares. The support is objectively very good, but you still need to play cards to make up the difference between like, Magna, X, and Terrier, or like, Nume on Valkyrie and Terrier. He was explaining some of the fucked up combos that you get to do, and I was like, oh, very amazing. I will not leak this information. But
Here you are on the podcast.
and then Imperial is like the one that I'm like, I don't know, guys. I think a lot of people are going to play Imperial, that's for sure. Did we get a sub?
Yes, we did.
Let's go.
They've been coming back with
let's
a
go.
17 months. It's nearly a
Huge.
year and a half. W.
What else? Yeah, all the Imperial players, the deck is very good. I'm not going to deny that the deck is not very good. But are you going to get your Daiken turn 1 and pass me, 4 memory, 5 memory? And then will your VMons hate your pieces? will your Wormmon, hit the pieces? Do you get ride line on first turn hand? Then yeah, maybe you get to play. If you have to spend 1 or 2, God forbid, 2 turns searching, you're cooked, bro. That's just good, classic Imperial problems.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I would love to live in the world that you're living in, Marcio, but every time I test Imperial, it does open the 2 4s it needs, a searcher and a body in the back, and then it strips through your sources with the stupid.
Yes, that is a
every
sculpted by God.
Yeah, and it's like every 3rd game.
Yes, that's going to happen, especially in a best of 3.
Especially in a blue deck that draws its entire deck, because the color they were like, how do we make the green cards not feel like bricks in this dual color deck? They all draw cards. That's neat.
That's very neat.
All of them without fail? Yeah, all of them without fail. Cool.
The Daiken is another one of those cards. In BT12, where every time I read a Hunter's card, there was a little bit extra text than I remember. The card was ever so slightly more broken. Those Jewel Tamers, it's not just TK Cody. They're all heinous.
They're all busted.
Yeah.
They're all busted.
The girls are the least good ones, but they're still very good.
I'll give you that. The sec attack is crazy, though.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, no, wait. I'm tripping. The sec attack is on the option card.
It's on the option, yeah.
Yeah, never mind. The girls
What do they get?
They are
DP minus?
they DP minus.
Which on a Tamer, it's
good
pretty
mechanic
good.
there.
It's pretty good. Like the fact that Tamers get to, apply some form of control.
It's actually only 3K. It's actually really shit.
No, 3K is like
3K is pretty good. And then 3K is not to a Digivolve 1 or a Source Strip 3. It's not quite the same.
No, of course, but for a red yellow, 3K goes a long way.
Oh yeah, I agree. I'm playing that deck.
And it's 3K on Jugrush, right? So it's 3K plus one.
Yeah, dude. And of course, the other thing is that they all give you a memory when you do this.
So. Of course. But and then it's like, okay, well, there's these 6, 7 decks that are known going to be good, and then there's all the weird decks. I'm not saying that I'm not expecting Hawkmon Rush to do well, but if there's one random ass idiot who's like, you know what, dude, Hawkmon Rush.
You can call him Terry. He's not here.
Yeah,
no, Terry's gonna play Gato Rush, which is.
You're right,
for better or for worse. I don't know why. I think if you just played a, Sylphie, Valkyrie toolbox
Hawkmon Rush is better than a meme. It is.
If you find 1 or 2 Akihos, then yeah, your deck is
you pop
crazy.
Off. Yeah, I'm into it.
Yeah,
that's just me coping.
When I was testing with Liam, we realized that I did a play to extend to put us both on lethal with no blocker. I'd cleared his board and I passed him 1, and then I realized because of the 2 Daikens, there was technically a lethal line from empty board, 0 memory, 2 Daikens. It's that's not normal. No. I think it was we figured out he didn't have it, but we figured out that BT16 plus any DNA end of turn inherit would push him to 2, and then it's both memory printer pieces evolve over it, and then you get the memory back into pile, so you can just off of 1 memory and an empty board spawn a Paildramon and kill someone. It was wild.
Yeah, and people are like, I wonder what happens to the aggro in that format. It quartzmons you.
But
that's what it does.
Yeah, the thing with the Imperial is that it's going to just be heavily populated.
Well, let's get a hype train. Let's go.
A lot of people are going to play Imperial. That's completely fine. But it's just basically do you know your Imperial matchup? Because you're probably going to play against this 3-4 times at your regional. I think it's the most popular of all of the decks. Magna. Well, Armor's probably also pretty popular. I'm expecting to play against 3 Imperial, 3 Armor, or some shit like that, and that's going to be my run.
You're going to see Demi V flipped as the egg a lot.
And I won't know which one. Which one I'm playing against.
Bukamon's heinous in that deck, by the way. I had a brief trip back to my first week of playing Digimon, where just jamming Vmon, Magnamon BT8, Paildramon, go. I was like, I miss the old days.
The good days. But the other thing is again, this is it's literally the same sequences of events as Advanced Starter deck gets its main set support, and it's just going to be heavily populated. And I'm the Terramon players, those guys are crazy, man. Rapid X they've been like foaming at the mouth of this thing. It's gonna evil for like 0 most of the time.
It's so cool. They did such a good job with that card. Like we've talked a lot about like we did the set review like what episode 8 with Terry, but
Something
like
that.
there is some peak flavor in 16. Like people are right to be as hyped as they are. The cards came out like they nailed it.
And we haven't even seen the movie.
Yeah.
Yet.
We should.
Hey, buddy, I guarantee you Willis isn't in the movie.
We should
Hey,
host
man.
a second locals just to play like BT16. Otherwise, we have like what 3 weeks to prepare for this fucking event. This is Euros all over again.
Yeah, I like this a lot.
But this time we don't have to go to the Netherlands. This time we just have to go to Birmingham.
It was a fun event.
I don't know which one I would rather go to.
I
think I'll take the Netherlands, honestly.
If we've got any Dutch Digimon homies who watch the podcast, I want to make a quick shout out. This is not scripted and the boys don't know about this ahead of time. But I had food in The Hague that I think about to this day. If you can get yourself over to the freaking fries, dude. Give me a sec.
It's funny, whilst you were doing this, I was thinking about
Ladage Den Haag. Oh my god, which is just The Hague. I understand some Dutch, but it's it's just the craziest fries I've ever had in my life. Yeah, it was unbelievable. It was like a little corner shack. It was next to a Game Mania. It's like a chain, like game store. So if you can get it out there, you should do that. Place ruled. And like shout outs to the Dutch Digimon scene. They kind of went nuts. Was I the only one out of the 4 of us who went? No, Marcio went.
Marcio went, right?
I went. Yeah.
Yeah, you went. Yeah. Sorry, my roommate situation was hairy, so it was a very strange bunking experience. That's a story for another one. Speaking of stories for another one, we saved some content left lying around. And while we've got kind of a bump in chat, I thought it might be fun to investigate. Fellas, a couple weeks back, Tom, you get ready to cringe at this one because I've looked at it again since. We tried to predict the top cut. And if you guys haven't seen it, it was a fun experiment. The game plan was we were at the middle of the format. We were like, here are X period of tournaments. We know what's going on. Let's see how close we can get to the average event and like what its play proportion will be. So this is a good chance for us to talk about the recent OCE April regionals run by Tag Games, and also roast us for. To be fair, it's better than you think it's going to be, but it's not perfect. I popped the screenshot in chat if you're interested, Andrew.
I am interested.
It's not the nicest screenshot I've ever taken of our show, but
yes.
It's what I had. But I'm happy. I've got it zoomed here so we can actually cover it up if we need to. But we essentially said that the lists we thought, shout out to Harry Pogging, that is a great crop you've managed there. We said in some permutation that the decks that we thought would be playing for the first place spot are Numemon, Devas, and Mirage. We'll come and assess that in a second. The top 16s look a little bit like Setcon, Leviamon, Mega Gargomon, which I think in this case we can kind of shorthand to a Terriermon Green, kind of like accumulate. Obviously Rapid Rush was sort of the prevailing one, but we'll cross that bridge in a minute. We have the expert here to talk about it. Then there's Yellow Vaccine, Fenrir, Magnamon, which is sort of a stand-in for just Armor Rush as opposed to a like Magna X style control deck. Chaos Dramon X representing just Machine, BLs, Shine, and Red Hybrid. So that sort of rounds out our top 16 archetypes. We'll go through some of the rest of them in a minute. But let me go ahead and pop our event that we'll be comparing to here in chat.
I don't think we're like too far.
We did an okay job. There are a couple swings and misses, but like on the whole, we kind of nailed it.
What do you think was
I think part of this is that we were looking at the data set, but Davis has fallen off. Davis is not winning anymore. It is topping.
Could it be that people just learn how to play against Davis? Like, is it like the kind of control deck that the more people play against, the worse it's going to do? Yeah.
Also, I think Mirage doing better hurts Davis.
Yes.
But we kind of accounted for that. So I've chalked in our pod chat the OC event. I would love to talk about that with you boys, but I want the chat to kind of remember here. If you want to take a screenshot and roast those back, we'll come back to this in a second. But here is the top cut.
How many players?
96. So this is the, I think, second It's certainly not. I think it's the second smallest regional in OC the last period, but we were like, this is technically the first one posted up for May, and that was the month we were going to aim for because this was like, that is the end of the format. How did we do? So that's where we're at. It's a Mirage sweep. We knew it was coming. We talked about them before. I kind of joked when the show was starting that it's not just EU getting dog walked by Mirage. Turns out they're doing it down in the land down under as well.
Yeah, it's funny that was a relevant accidental title for 3 weeks in a row. The last time, 2 times we've gone live with that title, mistake. However, not incorrect.
Always factually accurate. So yeah, highest proportions. They have 5 Mirage in the top 16, 2 Numemon, 2 Red Hybrid, 2 Armor, 1 Fenrir, 1 Davis, 1 Belphemon, 1 Setcon, and 1 Shine Greymon.
I think I wish we had it's not always easy to get like the full pie chart. I would love to see like the full pie chart in comparison to the converting decks. Like I would love to see like how much of each deck people brought, and then how well people actually did.
Provided we had another 24 hours, I imagine that the Play TCG Regional or Ultimate Cup playing today would probably be the event for that. They tend to be really good about compiling data and making it publicly available. But is there anything here that stands out? Remember, I'm happy to read off again what we kind of predicted, boys. Tom, is there anything of our prediction from 4 weeks ago now that you can't believe we said? My neighbor's going crazy.
Sorry, there's someone watching cars or something. I mean, Mirage.
And you'll see all this and more for the Salford Regional.
I mean, Mirage is right up there. I didn't see any Mega Gargo players, so it's a lot concerning for me. But it's also like maybe it's just people. Maybe the deck's being found out a little bit. What else was on there? I've got the thing with it. Belphemon. Belphemon's like kind of just creeping up there. Where did you put Belphemon last time?
We put it in top 32.
Top 32. So that's like probably the main outlier I've spotted. Like,
I agree. This is its second top. Yeah. By the way.
Yeah, by all accounts, a now very real meta deck.
Yep.
It's
the first one was a fluke. The second one, there's something there, but are people willing to play it?
Yeah. We'd have to see, but it's an interesting one. The other one in here that you're being kind about, I suspect, Tom, is that we thought Machine was a top 16 archetype back 5 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago.
That was all you guys. I never believed in that deck.
Oh, you did put Machine in top 16.
I never believed in that
deck. I can understand.
It had just finished topping 2 events in a row.
Yeah. But it's like with Dave, in like wins the Omnimon, and then in this one, did Davis just get a top? Was it even in there? There's one Deva top.
There's one Deva, but it got 11th and not top 8. So it's one of those. I think it's interesting. There's some things we can learn from this. Marcio kind of talked before about trainings. Trainings might be a thing we discuss at length at a future point here on the show, because
I feel like we mention trainings every 2 weeks.
Yeah, but have we talked about the like before and after that they did to us? Because that's the other thing.
We can do like a whole.
I feel like we could talk for quite a while on trainings, if I'm honest. I have thoughts on those cards. Not all of them good.
My thing is like, you look at the pie chart, right? And there's like some decks that I'm like, okay, this is like normal. I expect Red Hybrid to get a couple spots. I expect one person exactly to make it with Fenrir. I will look at the Fenrir list and get disgusted. Can you please bring up the Fenrir list for me, please?
Pretty good. It's a banger. I remembered thinking that it was just all gas, no brakes.
Okay, this is the thing that I sometimes I wonder if the Fenrir players like know where their cards want to be, because I see these lists that play 2 purple memory boosts, and like I get it. You want to dig a little bit deeper for your pieces, but you know what? Purple memory boost does? It bottlecks your AG guy. And AG is often the reason why you win or lose a game. And then it's like, okay, why are we playing 3 analog? I always call him Cool Boy. Why are we playing 3 analog views? The card is like one of the best cards in your deck. It should be a 4 of. What are we playing Crimson Blaze for?
Yeah,
if you're not OTKing, you're either just making a board. Like the only option you should be playing should be should be delicate plan. I will accept rivals. I think that's a fine card, but then it's like, you know, why are we
switch mills it?
right? Exactly, and it's like, okay, so you thought about the option, but then you didn't play the delay option that synergized with it.
There's also no Gato Uvers here.
No, there
Yeah.
Oh, yes, no Gato Uber. Yes.
So
yes,
they were
that's
just
right.
like, I will not see Leviamon today.
That's where I thought you were going. I am still someone that doesn't hate Crimson Blaze. I know everyone else hates it, but I don't hate Crimson Blaze and Luga. But like, the no Gato Uber still seems like there are players that just simply haven't looked outside of like the week 1 lists and then gone for minor consistency pieces that were just lying around in their bulk. Like, if you played for enough and you skipped RBO1 like most people did, then this seems like a, I've got 47 cards. Sod it. 1 Delicate Plan, 1 Crimson Blaze, 1 Rivals, we're good.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
There's also things like, I think the Labra is a very neat addition. I think, Luga, you're allowed to play 2 random ass rookies of your choice, whether it's a Gazi or a Psych or a Gabu or a
so
Labra,
much better. So much better than the Fascomon.
Play whatever guy you want. Ultimately, it doesn't super matter. It's just for niche lines where, like, you've done like a hell turn and, you've used Analog Youth, you reset your stack, and like, you have the AG, so there's no point you starting with Luga. You might as well just go into Labra, for example. I get it. Like, it's a fine deck, but, it's just Luga being Luga. It's a deck that I expect to see exactly one of in a top cut, and I'll look at the list and I'll be like, this is not how I would build the deck, but they topped with it, and that's completely fine. But I still think the list is just not optimal. However, there were 2 armor lists, and they were vastly different, and I kind of wanted to have a look at that. One
Again,
of them actually
just for the record, we
put
armor. Yeah, we put armor in top 16, and one of them overperformed. So I'd like to congratulate.
And there's a reason why they overperform. I think this is the best converting. This is the best armor placement so far.
Sam Morris.
Sam Morris. Congrats to Sam Morris.
There's a couple of things that I'm like, what are we doing here? But there's a couple things that I'm like, I can get behind this.
Yeah, I mess with this list a lot because low-key, the armor list that I built for 16, like yesterday and I've been testing, has some very similar ratios to this. So I'm just like, damn, I dig this immensely. Also, Megadeth is a funny card. The Imperial Discord has some things to say about that card.
Megadeth is a very good option in this format. So for this being the best list, 1, there are no Ukos, which that'll tell you something about the deck. There's also there's been another list that has played no Ukos in VMons, just because if you're not this one,
I think it was an NA event, the list.
I think it was an NA event, yeah. And the idea is, like, if you're planning on sitting on Magna X for a turn, well, you get that turn, you don't need to constantly be hatching, right? So this is like on paper a Magna control list, but really it's like using Daiken to suspend Magna to push damage, which I think is actually kind of neat. And the fact that they're playing Megadeth to complement, the fact they're already playing a blue-green Tamer, and for Lydra, this list is like built to sort of just like be Nume on turn 1. But it doesn't play Louis, so it loses out on some like niche lines, but it's still fine. It just has on average better security. I just think that Daiken is neat. Everything else, it's a little bit lighter on the actual armors. Only 2 BTA Magna is a little bit suspicious.
Yeah, I don't understand that. This feels like it's like Armor Rush. Like, they don't even have what's it called? Awakening like, to get into a Magna X. Like, being on full Magna X and then not maximizing your Magna count is crazy.
I think it's basically like, I'm going to use Lighter to control, and all of my other 3 Magnets I'm just going to convert into Magna X.
Yeah,
so not super like worried about not having like the right Magna for the job. It's just you play the best one, and then all the other ones are just means to an end.
Get your Windage evolving them past turn.
Yeah, exactly.
It feels very specifically like an engine by which you are going to use Lydramons and Daikens to just control a Numemon board. Like it feels like a vehicle to play like an aggressive turn 3 to like stabilize and then make Magna X at a later juncture. which is interesting. It's something that isn't super explored. Everyone's in the process of playing no off turns Ukamon free type deck.
And that can also let you like do some some cheeky bombos with Fire Rocket because you can evolve into Magna X and then unsuspend it and then keep the sec +1. So you know you do have that going for you. You know it's a neat idea. The other armor list is sort of like where most people have sort of landed. If you bring up the place a little bit lower, but this is like
Daniel Su in 13th.
This is like you're playing your Ukos, you're playing your Davises, your
there's a Louis or two.
Yeah, Louis, your mask change options, the 1 decks.
Bro, there's hella white cards in this.
Yes, there's definitely more than there should be. Merciful is fine. It's seen some success. This is like closer to what most people will build with like the 11 Magnas and then
aces of your choosing.
Yeah, aces of your choice and then sitting on Magna X.
I actually don't hate the Magna Angemon. Obviously, not being able to go over ST17 Magna is kind of ass, but like before we had him, Magna Angemon Ace was kind of like sharing the slot with Zudo for best ace in the deck. It just obviously, the later the game goes, if you're behind, it gets diminishing returns, but it can be nice to like vary your form of removal.
It's very good against like Nume turn 1, healing in this deck. On average, you're going to heal a good card. One gemming Demon is a little bit suspicious. I feel like then why even bother playing it? At that point, just commit 2 more searchers. But then you lose a little bit harder to Mirage. But you're already losing to Mirage anyway, just from 1 Yamon. But that's the thing with armor. I think armor is like so pilot dependent that like we don't need to spend a ton of time looking at those. It's just like the pilots know what they're doing. They're just playing, like 5 1-ofs for some reasons. Like I'm on weird cards myself. Andrew's on cards that he likes as well. It's just armor is just very customizable. As long as your techs are putting in the work for you, it's very easy to justify.
Yeah. Wouldn't be just a deck breakdown without taking a look at what Mirage was on. 4 eggs, almost normal.
This is just like that's too normal actually.
Yeah,
it's actually too normal.
Well, so I was under the impression that the 2 of BT11 Gaomon has kind of fallen out of favor. I know although I say that, I think the winning list from your guys' regional that Karlsruhe was.
Yes, they were definitely on
2 Gaomon as well, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe there's a resurgence. I just didn't think it was a thing people wanted to do.
No, Goma is interesting because I feel like Goma is how you don't get cooked by Sekon.
The guy that won Karlsruhe, I think, was on Goma, but he was on beta as well.
Yeah. And then there was the guy that won the European, the Raid and Trade Online Ultimate Cup. He wasn't on beta at all.
Wow.
He was just playing like maximum consistency, and he was just like, if I want jamming, I get it from Lanamon.
Yeah.
And just even.
Oh yeah, he was on a bunch of the Lanamons. That's right.
I know. I think he was only on like 2, but he was just like, I don't know. He was playing it more like a mid-range list. But this is just Mirage, right? It's like there's maybe like.
Yeah.
Cards different from the other winning Mirage list to the other winning Mirage list to the other winning Mirage list.
Yeah, it says a lot about the deck when you look at the 2 cards on the right on that image, like the 2 rows, and it's just Zudomon and Blue Training, and you're like, It really does get you pretty much all your problems.
But it's like the longer we play this format, the better Mirage gets. It's just the sturdiest deck of the format. It just has the best matchup spread.
Yeah. It'll be one of those to see. I think people are also in for a bit of a rude awakening if they think this deck is going anywhere next set either. If you haven't read some of the toolbox cards Mirage has access to, the original Mirage Galgamon is unblockable. So good luck Magnamon X antibody players.
Yeah, but I think
well.
Yeah. Oh god.
It's just the fact that like yes, they can play through it, but I think most people that have been playing Mirage are probably looking to pivot by now.
Right, but if there's a regional Omnimon on the line, I wonder how much people will pivot.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
Maybe you're right. The Baphomet list was cool.
Yeah, I would like to talk all about. Can we also, if you've got a second, talk about the Red Hybrid list in 4th? Maybe start with Baphomet because it's interesting. But Red Hybrid hasn't had a top 8 in a minute.
This is a 12. This is still a 16. I think the other list plays better.
Am I
I know there's only one Belphemon in
Yeah,
this
there's only
event,
one.
or in this
This
top
event,
10.
yes, but I'm talking about like there was another Belphemon.
Oh, from the Texas one? I can try and find
Yes,
that. Give me a
I
sec.
think that one was 6th place. Supposedly it's
Yeah.
slightly better, but it's the same concept.
Give me a sec.
Ukamon to accelerate your eggs so you can actually,
Just
do
AT
more.
faster.
Yeah.
It's just Uko AT. That's their draw engine.
It is pretty neat. The other thing I think is cool is something that you'll start to see more of in 16 as well, which is that like Control X place a higher level of importance on Digimon Emperor. This is the most Emperors I've seen in something that's not Satcon or Davis.
It just shuts down in multiples. You shut down every aggro deck. They just are never allowed to raise at level 3. And for a lot of decks, it's just
beats the snot out of purple base Nume. Hurts Fenrir really badly. Hurts Beelzemon tremendously. Red Hybrid really badly. It's a lot of stuff. So it's one of those cards people have to keep an eye out for it.
But this list wasn't playing like any Death X's at all, which is different to the previous list. I was playing 3 of them, and this one is playing a few more Gifts of Darkness, which is just your natural out of Fanglong anyway.
Yeah. Gifts of Darkness is a crazy card, man.
Belphemon reformed in my eyes. I think this deck is cool now.
Belphemon was always cool. I was just sick of it going draw 3, discard 2. But, known purple engine hater here. I want them to be tribal. Give me something real.
Man, Oceania lists are always fun to look at because, whether it's by pure skill or by luck, they tend to have like some of the wilder decks.
There's also something to be said for the fact that they tend to also end up with the late in the format regionals like we do, which I'm sympathetic to.
They get early ones too. They just get more love than us.
Yeah, the thing is, I think they play a lot fewer online regionals per head. They also play fewer regionals. There's way more regionals here in Europe.
Europe, sure. No. Well, yes, Europe as a continent, sure, but Europe is the online events is for everyone, but most people just have like 1 in person. I think like Oceania gets maybe like 2 in person. Sometimes, yeah, they've had an Ulti Cup and they've had a regional this season. I think I think this was a weird one because their first one I think was right after the ban list. So some of their format stuff is weird. I want to know what's the deck that you think is going to do really well at Salford and nobody's like considering it. It doesn't have to be that nobody's considering, but just what's the deck that you think is like, okay, I think this deck is crazy, and nobody's maybe nobody's playing or nobody around you is testing or whatever, but the deck is going to do well, and you're going to be like, I told you guys. Do you have a deck for that category?
It's a toughie. I mean, a lot of people say there's always an uncut gem, right?
Gabubon.
Yeah. It got top 16 at one time.
What do you think, Tom? Unspoken hero here. What are you thinking?
Because you've been playing one deck, so it's not like you've been bouncing between a few decks. You've been playing exactly like one deck.
Yeah.
So I feel like you get to experience the metagames slightly differently to like me and Andrew and Tom who've been switching between.
I haven't been switching between anything.
My original answer was going to be Beelzemon, but I can't say that after
Yeah, we've got a surprising distance into the podcast without talking about Beelzemon.
If I had to throw an answer, maybe the Omni Control or Omni Dark Masters.
I'm so happy you said that.
Okay, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Is it a deck that like you've been just low-key testing into just to make sure that you got it?
I mean, my brother has played it on occasion, and he has a lot of fun playing it. I've played against it when Derek is during the testing day. I think the deck, if it once it gets going, it's very hard to stop, and there's a lot of decks nowadays that can't really handle being de-digivolved twice by Machinedramon. Take Numemon. There's 3 out of the 4 things that Dark Masters can do just says no to Numemon. Bot decks, something suspended, bounce something that's level 5 or lower, de-digivolve 2. But there's just a lot of non-deletion removal it has, and then on top of all that, it's just being able to blast Evo onto some of the best level 6 aces in the game. I think once it gets going, it's just very hard to stop. The problem is it needs to really pop off in some cases.
Why do you think the deck won't maybe do as well? Like, what decks do you think will just get in and swing and be like, oh, I lost because I played against like this and this?
Anything quick, anything that it's a bit of a Davis thing where the average Davis player will pass 7 memory and then like not take into account what they're playing against. They'll pass 7 to like an armor or a Nume player, and they won't know what to do when that player makes full use of that memory. And I think Darkmasters has a similar issue where if the pilot isn't good with what they're doing with their memory efficiency, or like, playing their initial steep costs to then play for cheap later on, I think that's what's going to hold the deck back. It's not an easy deck to. I don't think Davis is an easy deck to play. Like, you're passing 7 at any point, it just feels cringe, right? Like, you give the opponent so much ability to play the game, and then you're just doing like, here's a Dave, draw 1, put another Dave, and raising. I hope you attack me because I have this Blast Evo ready to go, but like,
it's always Azulon.
You also,
it always is, yeah.
You sit there and you worry about the clock too, because like you pass them 7, and then their next turn is 8 minutes long.
Just I'll do this play, tame down for 1. Here's my free cost level 4.
Yeah, and you're like, why does this deck go to time so much? I'm like, well, let me tell you.
I think it's
might rhyme with Kumemon.
I think people tunnel vision on the fact that, like, okay, when I say tunnel vision on the fact that Davis give you 7 memory as like, oh, this is amazing, I'm getting 7 memory to do my plays, and then they'll like just use it to exclusively set up and don't account for the fact that like if you don't deal with that turn 1 Deva, then they'll get to raise the one from nursery and then play out another one, at which point they have 3 Devas to ace with. Yep. Whereas I think if more people were comfortable with going first against Devas, they'll do probably a bit better.
Oh my god. Because if you guys take anything from this podcast, it's don't let the Deva player go first every time.
Just don't. Because worst case scenario, you'll get past 1, and like,
then you're done.
It's like 1 memory is fine. You don't get to do a lot with it. But worst case scenario is actually get past 7, and then they have
Antila in the back.
Yeah, Antila in the back, or like, whatever, right? But then it's also like you can't pass them. I think the other main thing is that people don't know how much memory to pass Devas. People just like pass a Deva, play like 4 or 5 memory, and it's like, I did it. I removed the Sovereign. At what cost, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, and very few decks are removing the Sovereign without it being a clean exchange. You know what I mean? Like, you remove my Abanwumon, and then I'm taking your Fenrir with it.
But he removed your guy, and that's what
he did. And he overflowed 4, and that overflow 4 turned into a Gaia Force. What the heck?
I was telling this to Trix. Playing against Davis, it's literally you're playing like Super Nintendo Castlevania. It's like
OD.
It's like the 80s. Your controller has like 6 buttons, and you're only allowed to use those 6 buttons. If you do something you're not supposed to do, the bats and the vampires are gonna like jump you and like beat your ass because you just you walked into a room that you were not supposed to walk into.
Should have backlash, bro.
Yeah, people will just like psych themselves playing against a control deck because they just didn't take the time to at least know what it does. Like the fact that the monkey is like, oh yeah, 2-cost tamers don't suspend.
I love doing that to the Fenrir players.
And it's like
they like, I'll like, if you have that and the decoy, oh my god, it's the only time I've ever had this happen was I had the decoy chicken and the monkey against, and it was like Helugar, pop the monkey, decoy, and now you can't take your memory back, and you just passed me 4 and it's over. GG's, bro. Good times. I'm glad you mentioned Omnimon Control though, Tom, because it is a deck that people are sleeping on pretty massively. It just isn't converting out the gate, and some people say it's because it's missing cards. Lots of people point to Vicomon Ace being this missing piece. Lots of people point to Grand Kuwagamon Ace being a missing piece.
I think it's
the Edamon for forced combat is a whole thing too. There's like lots of optimizations that come and go in that deck.
The Etamon, Adam's been testing the Etamon, and it's actually crazy how useful it's just taunt a body for like full costing and go, here's a Mega Gargo Ace. You can't play the game next turn.
Yep.
I think it's also like a lot of the players that not the majority, obviously, like not the converting players, but a lot of the people that gravitate towards that deck are like sort of like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Stun player wannabes, where it's just like, I'll just play this. It's like people that don't want to quite play Secon, but they still want to play like an asshole control deck.
Yeah, DM Control I think has it. I think Davis gets a lot of that, but DM Control maybe even a little bit more than Davis, because at least Davis is burning for game.
I think
Yeah.
people that play Davis just want to sit on like a boss monster more than anything.
Yeah, this
They're
is
just-
different though.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I hate, when digivolving a tempo turn, effect. I'm gonna sit on a boss monster. Some of the Dark Master players are just like, oh yeah, yeah, all my friends don't like playing against me. I'm kind of like the asshole of my locals. I'm such an asshole. Yeah, I hate Greymon, and it's just like,
I just don't have any filters, bro. I just say it how it is.
For real.
If anything, my deck has a lot of filter. Have you read like all of the level 5s?
Oh,
That was a good one, Marcio. I like that.
Thank you.
Did you guys know this deck topped an EVA Cup this weekend over in Japan?
Wait,
It does.
Omnizu?
Yeah, DM Omni is now 2 EVO Cup tops. One of them a win.
W.
Yeah, it's the Mega Digimon Assembly or whatever the like MDF option that has a cost.
Yeah.
Because it's the easiest. This is just one of those decks that happens to have a Paladin Mode Ace Turbo variant, and boy oh boy, if you were gonna have a Turbo variant to make a certain Digimon, what a good one to choose. So
I think it's like that deck is just the people that have taken the time to get good at the deck are very good at the deck. But the average person that wants to play the deck, they're playing it for the wrong reasons.
yeah, if you're not in for Ultimate Chaosmon 4 checks on turn 3, I don't know what you're doing, dude.
Yeah, actually. That card is so funny to look at.
Yeah, and you got 4 different color level 6s to use, guy. Give yourself a shot.
All right, at some point, do we talk about the run of all time?
I'd like to.
Yes.
We've got time.
Yeah,
Protagonist.
The key to success is to play a Tamer's deck, guys. Remember.
Yes.
I'm calling all of you Sakuyamon players, Gallantmon players, Terriermon players.
We're here on the call.
There's 3 of us right here.
Yeah.
Justimon, I don't know if makes the cut. But,
yeah, no, I mean, I think that's
telling
what
me
you're doing,
vanilla,
right?
You're telling me vanilla budget Evo Justimon's not gonna get you there?
Whoa, we don't play vanillas now, okay? We have.
Oh, sorry. What was the better than vanilla from BT14 called?
What, Footmon or something?
Datamon, that's the guy.
Can't be deleted, bro. Nice levy deck. I'll just sit on this guy and you can.
And you can bring him out too. Oh,
yeah,
crazy.
You don't have an out to it.
Shane, there's no level 5 ace Digimon yet.
Well, no, it's a level 5.
Datamon is a level 5.
Yes, Datamon's
I thought he was a level 4.
No. He's level 5. We have indestructible level 4s, the Hover SP and the Gardramon.
Yeah, you've got Hover SP, Gardramon. I mean, you could theoretically go onto Raiji if you were struggling. Like, that card can't be deleted as well.
I mean, now we're scraping the barrel.
The smile just left my face so quickly. That up.
All right, we're going to put it back on though, because this is something that people, I think these first 3 videos are publicly available, but all of top 8 is now actually archived. You may notice that if you go to the Raid and Trade official, the VOD isn't there. That wasn't by design. It just is not there. But Yor thankfully has it backed up and he got it to me. So I've cut most of the preamble. And hopefully you'll have been enjoying these 50-minute videos that have been dropping daily.
Oh god, yeah, the watch time gonna go crazy.
The protagonist shows up in round 5. And something that hopefully we haven't, I guess, if you've been paying attention to the shorts, I don't have to play this format no more. I'm casting Salford. So you will be seeing more of me and potentially one of these guys, depending on how the run goes. Casting the Salford Regional.
We gotta look nice, right? Like me and Marcy are gonna sit down for round 1. We'll be on like table 48 and 39 or whatever, and we'll
get paired into each other. It has happened before.
But it'll be you. Yeah, every single event. But it'll be like you and me, and we'll be like the only 2 guys with blazers on.
Nah, Jambo will be there.
Nicely. Why aren't you dressed nicely?
Well, that's what I would say. It's like you'll be sat next to a dude in a hentai sweatshirt, and I'll be sat next to a dude that's like wearing a Digimon t-shirt with Agumon on it. One of these, and it'll literally just be like, oh, 2 random guys. It's like a chess meetup.
Oh, we can bring our championship mats from Euros,
That's hard. I love that.
and we mean like serious business, you know.
Real deal.
Maybe I'll do it just to psych people out,
That'd be
and also
funny.
because people then can't
Do
really
those mats
tell.
have a mem gauge?
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Okay, cool. We're in there. Maybe
It's
I'll
like-
play that.
If I'm playing against like a new player, right, and then round 1, and they see like a championship mat, surely you're fucking like your small intestine is like filled up with like so much anxiety that it became your large intestine. Oh man, on my first event I went up against the guy and he had a championship. He has to be good, right? There was just nothing I could do, man.
Me when I come to Fanboy Locals and I sit across from Saf and I have no idea and he rolls out the, oh no, he's won a what now?
To be fair, not everyone gets to be Quang on the day, right? That's
True.
the difference. Some people can only hope to be as hype as the protagonist on that fine Saturday.
Yeah, woe is me when the coolest deck is accidentally stuck to the stream setup like bungee gum. Yeah.
I was gonna ask you guys about that. Like, did you ever like, you know how you like the predictions going for like who people are gonna win with? It's like it was just always Beelzemon, right? Everyone always thought it was Beels. Yeah.
Actually, the round that he lost, I think like the guy's partner was in chat and dumped like all of their channel points, and that was the only time that Beels wasn't the overwhelming favorite. And then it ended up being like when Beels actually lost in the run back. We had the craziest 4 rounds back to back where, and is that every so often you're just like, damn. Do they? It's always better have it, and my man had he had it every time. Like, look at this trash, bro.
This could be tricks, right? This could be what happens to tricks, where like he's going to round 4 or 5 or whatever. He's gonna sit on table run, right? Potentially, maybe even earlier. Who knows? And he's just going to like play his tamer deck, right? And you know, Bandai is going to bless him and be like, you will now push double Typhoon. And he'll get like the best hands and he'll always have it. And it'll just be that. We'll just get our British Quang in the form of tricks.
And his first check will always be double Typhoon in security. And it's like, oh, you wanted to match the aggro? Oh, unlucky, suspend it. Anyway, next turn, Lopmon.
Fellas, I have bad news. As much as Tom is my guy, and he is my guy, Tom has far too much bling to be the Quang on the day. Quang showed up some of those rounds on playmats with mem gauges, showing the plastic cards. His whole list is min rare. Tom has golden rapid months.
Okay, maybe I have a core of the deck that is like, you know, like a humble like.
Yeah, I have a starter deck you could open up really quick.
Yeah, if you want to play like no bling, humble, you know, like not even custom sleeves, just like
forget your nice
solid
sleeves
green. Yeah, solid green. You're allowed to use the double Typhoon memory gauge.
I'll lend you a Pokemon playmat.
Oh my god! No, I'll bust out the Yu-Gi-Oh one that I brought to the first local.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it works for quite. Yeah, this the tour guide mat that you see right now was the mat that you're put down, so that way players could put their mats on top of it to line it up for the camera for us. So that way we had relatively consistent camera placement. Yeah. It wasn't until the next round that he went and sourced a mat, and it was a Dragon Ball mat. It wasn't even like a Digimon mat. This guy showed up with a deck box and the will to sack people.
Maybe it was the Dragon Ball mat. Maybe it was, you know, like Goku like flowing through him or whatever. Like
it's like, oh, you never give up.
Quang goes to flip the cards, and it's the Goku QTE.
Yeah.
Every time you hit Rivals in security, you just hear the first beat of Ultra Instinct.
This is what we call a mill 2.
To be fair, that was every first mill. When he loads the first one, like, oh yeah, I need the extra memory. It's like, have a second one.
Yeah. And this is to go even further beyond my own memory gauge. And it's just like the memory gauge just goes like up by 1 every single time. I just like think 7 memory or something crazy like that.
My favorite part of the chat was people coming in and out as they waited for like Top Cut to start. So we had the people who'd been watching the whole run and like the whole dream of like starting it into this, and people showing up in the top. I was like, I swear the last time I saw somebody doing this, but they were cheating. And I was like, no, you missed it, man. You're 3 rounds too late. You're short on context. Some people have it like that. You don't.
And it's just like, it was insane. I don't know. I think honestly, the reason why he did so well was that second blast mode. And I've been telling our friend our friend Brad to play like 2 blast mode. Genuinely, I think it was the difference maker was the fact that he was playing 2 Blast Mode and he just cut the X antibody cards.
Yeah, it
They're
was
not
crazy.
That
purple.
was neat.
He was on 4. He was on
Oh.
4 Balmont. That was
Was he?
wild.
Did you
That
guys
was
figure out
crazy.
if it was for training as well?
Yeah, I think so.
It had to be. If I was to like recreate the list like 1-to-1, it probably was.
Well, we've seen it all face up on the table once or twice. So.
Yeah, but the bitrate was 12, so like it'd be like that.
You right.
Yeah,
So this is
frequent
what I'm
comment that.
Now we have 2 people that could qualify to become British Quang. We have the Galmon player and we have the Terrymon player. It's in your guys' hands.
Well, there's already been a Galantmon run.
Yeah, shout out to Henny He.
Henny on run 2, by the way. That was hype.
Yeah.
Really excited to see that. I watched that video today.
He's in the comments of
Yeah.
that video too. It's great.
But he wasn't hogging the stream, you know.
No, true. Yeah, they didn't put him back. It was awful.
Yeah, so
I
that's
wanted
the
to keep
thing.
watching.
Salford, I hope that we don't necessarily only pick table 1. I hope that we get like table 6 or something, so it's just
Could
just
you imagine? That
everywhere.
would be so funny.
It'd be like
you like sat down. And
just
you're
do like
"Why am I-"
table 4 or something, like
It'll
or a
be
feature
your-
match.
It'll be your overhead camera arm. So it'll be like one actual stream table and then like your arm overhead. And it'll be like, what you're playing? This is D Brigade mirrors. What's going on?
Deliberately picked that one myself.
I had a dream about D Brigade, by the way. This is not a bit. I had a
You're about
dream
to become
about.
a narc?
Yeah, I know. Well, hey, that's a DigiPlease deck. You won't catch me talking to Oryumon. Anyway, listen. I think D Brigade. No, nobody asked me what my sleeper pick for the event is
quick
because I
side note,
share my
you only-
opinions all the times.
Quick side note, you only dislike Orymon because he can't be deleted. Moving on.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, Oryumon was when I thought the X antibody deck got cringe.
Anyway,
At least Dorygramon killed you. That's all I got to say. Yeah, the D Brigade stuff. I think it might be funny. I think people are gonna. Well, it's also part of it is like it's the end of the format. It's the we've towed the line on the show a lot about like this is technically the first IRL event where somebody in the UK could win a serial Omnimon, and also you're 2 weeks away from BT16. Who will still care? And so I think somewhere between point A and point B there is a chance for a brave soldier to take a run.
Maybe a brave
And-
soldier wearing like a funny pirate hat.
Yeah, you've read my mind. You thought exactly what I'm thinking.
Hell
He hasn't topped it a little minute here. But if there was a format where D Brigade kind of linearly got more improvement, I'm sort of expecting it to be this one. So also generally okay new Mimon matchup, not the worst thing in the world. Your Leviamon, very funny.
I'm trying to see if I can find a kill turn where he does something heinous. But
which one do you want me to pick? There was the triple rivals mill, the triple.
I'll never get over the 3 rivals mill. The
those
sound
already
Marcio
both-
made on the cast was like he melted.
Yeah.
I don't think it was. I think it was against Leviamon the first time they played.
that's a perfect example every time. It's just like there's always the brief pause when he blind milled the first time. It's like, man, he will lose the game because he's going to pass turn if one of these 2 cards isn't memory gain, and without fail, first card always memory gain. If he was
There was
blind, it was
one-
free.
There was one where, in theory, he should have lost, which was, I think, the last round before Top Cut. I think it was like round 7.
Was this when the
Where-
burst mode, the blast mode killed the floodgate off?
No. It was the player swung Azulong, and he could no longer rush Nume
yeah.
for game. That one fucking sent me.
Yeah,
Because it was like, oh, like, you are God's chosen. Like,
Yeah.
this was meant to be. This was pre-scripted.
yeah. This game, he should have like this whole set. He should have lost. He should have lost. Basically
There's
all
so-
3 games.
Yes, that there were so many, like, actions that, it was just like, he should have lost.
Mm-hmm.
He should have lost, and then it was like, man, better have it. Like game 1 was really. He also lost every game 1 basically, which was very very funny. That it was peak PMA. Like we always say, just like, man, don't let the losses get to you. You just gotta shake it off, and you gotta lock in for game 2. Bro, actually, is like, yeah, you can have game 1 for free.
He
I
was
don't
just
care.
playing game 1 to scout the list.
He was just making sure that he was shuffling correctly. He was just using that just to move the cards around, make sure they're in the right place, and then he just kill people game 2.
It's so funny to me that people go, oh yeah, but Beelzemon is a gambling deck. Like, yeah, like you're playing for high roll. The deck is not very consistent. And then I watch this guy, and I'm like, yes and no, because on paper he had the most consistent Beelzemon list I've seen, but it should not have been because he was also high rolling while having the most consistent, like, he was just getting everything.
Imp X went crazy. Like, that is a card that people say, like, oh, yeah, it's a 4 of, it's one of the best Imp Mons. Obviously, you can't play it off with Beelzemon because it's not Imp Mon. But, you know, its inherit goes crazy. It's a mill too. It sets you up nicely. But he was using it like a 5th through 8th Rivals Barrage, which I thought was really, really interesting. Like, he had BT2 Impmon, and it almost never went sideways. It was just an Impmon that he was happy to use that had an inherit, but didn't have an inherit.
Every time he brought out the BT2 Impmon to get popped by Levy, that shit was so funny. It's like, go ahead, Levy player, set me up. Give me the alley-oop, buddy. But yeah, if you skip a bit towards the end, I think it's when the Azulong...
Yeah, the Azulong one was horrendous. I think this was nerves before top 8. Yeah.
So that's the Russian Numemon in question. Go back a little further, I think.
Yeah.
Go back a little further, yeah.
Where is an Azulong that's about to lose us the whole game?
There it is. So, no.
It's before it goes sideways, right?
No, it's here on the board because he gets a turn before the Azulong theoretically goes for game.
Like, what a run this was. It's unbelievable, actually.
Yeah, this is a highlight reel. If you're looking forward to it, like, just look forward to getting through some of the games. All of the games progressively after, we can all say it, game one, set one was trash. It was just terrible. It was
just some unfortunate misplays where a judge wasn't there to help.
Yes.
That's all. Yeah,
terrible.
like some game state that should just not have been possible.
Then like round 2 onwards was good Digimon. And then we got the Beelzemon that could. Like, the haters said that he couldn't do it, and the haters, terrible call from them. This was like a guy that was printing Lethal or Living clips like he was like a tier 3 sub of the show. This man was just like, well, empty board, push out an Impmon, start betting
already
channel points.
Chat room.
Hell yeah.
And then, like, he goes for the 7th cluster here just to clear the guy, right? And he raises out.
Yeah, clear an Ukomon.
So at this point,
the guy had to clear because it was Nume X under the Azulong one. So
checks one, dies, swings,
then
and
this
then
has to
boom, ruin mode.
Ruin mode.
And then he loses 4, and he can no longer play Rush Nume for a game. Bro is cooked.
It's so cooked.
Little did they know.
Yeah, bro was playing against Kwang Min Lee, dude.
And it's just like the Nume player, like, props to Marvin. His list was one of the more unique lists that I had seen because he was playing the Garymon to give
and the Breath of Gods, man. That shit was
Breath of Gods was so neat. I was into that. But
like, sorry, Marvin, this is you're the jobber here. This is like, maybe Marvin knows what it feels like to go up again to take Sheeny Carey's shoes or Liam. You know, like round 3 jobber, like end locals final jobber. It's like it's always Liam.
Yep.
Yeah.
This was like the German version of Liam. He had probably the better list. You know, he had practiced the harder, but sorry, bro.
And then he had to lose because he lost this in the final round. He then faced off against a Mirage player. Since round 1, we never saw Mirage on stream at all until the government mandated finals, where it showed up to every time.
It showed up to lose to SetCon to give everybody a little bit of false hope that it wasn't going to win the whole thing, and then it won the whole thing.
Yeah.
Different player, but still.
Different player.
But it's just like, what a darn deck, dude.
Like, Marvin, credit where credit's due, he still got his serial omni. This throw isn't going to be like, I will never get like, you'll never get a good night's sleep ever again because of, wow, I threw on stream and then got cooked.
This is the absurdity, right? He's on 1 memory, Iron Mako, and he has like, what, 24 in trash?
Yeah, and on top of that, there's a Platinum Nume out. So for all intents and purposes, this Platinum Nume dies, it prints a Monzaimon to then print 2 memory, right?
Yeah, that was the full line.
This is a recap of the raid and trade round 7, which was casted by me and Marcio. We got given the keys to the castle and got to stream this, and this was one of the craziest things. You'll see it in your inbox next week because the videos have been coming out.
It's up to the channel.
I would say we're going to do the podcast next weekend, but I have no idea what we're doing next weekend.
doubt
You might get a dose of the podcast next weekend. That's how I'll put it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and maybe
I
the
don't-
dose is these two will show up randomly on the stream to be like, hey, here's my runs going. Format sucks, by the way.
So
What if
he
I
swings
win?
here.
What a
He has no
concept.
choice but to evo, and he evos into the EX2, by the way,
Yeah.
Oh, he was on. Yeah.
because I think that's all he has. So he gets the 1, and he stacks 1. So he probably stacked a memory ESS.
Mm-hmm.
Because he still wasn't at a point where like he could mill and then keep turn off of the other one,
Yep.
and then he
Hits a Wizardmon blind after stacking not Wizardmon to the top. Just so you know, he really needed that memory.
And
Yeah.
it's just like we're not making this very friendly for audio listeners only, but
Yeah, we're not in lethal or living mode where I'm gonna dictate every single thing that happened. But
so
yeah,
it's the 1 check. It lives.
and it's gonna turn into a Beals X for 1, which then is gonna proc a 7th full cluster, I guess.
Yeah.
Burns
So
2.
this 7th full cluster just has to not the platinum just has to not hit anything. Of course, because it's the protagonist, he has no Monza in
He has
hand.
no
Yeah.
Monza in hand,
Just
and it's just like
That's it.
Yeah.
That is it.
two
He's done
cards in
from that
hand,
point.
gains the 1 off of Sasuke, plays it in the Sasuke to choke, and it's like
there's a rivals barrage, so it's just gonna be swing 1,
Swing.
proc the rivals, find the blast mode, unsuspend. The game is over. You
Yeah.
simply did not want it enough.
It's unbelievable.
it's more the fact that it's like, okay, your Azulong dies, but also you just don't get given a Monzai to play off of the platinum.
Yeah, it was wild. Like even when he didn't have
I
the
love
most
that he checks it
explosively,
too.
yeah, just double checking.
He's like, wait, did that work? Yep.
What a legend. Gets the mill,
Lamau.
and then that's the fist bump.
Yep, it's crazy.
I would love to be a fly on the wall in the card market.
Me like
Yeah.
Just all over the place.
That's that clip of Andrew there. He's like, it looks like that bro yapping me. Like, bro, his blood waffling about. I would love to be a fly on the wall in the Berlin offices at Card Market when people have to try and randomly explain why Beelzemons have just gone up like 4 pounds.
Yeah. But yeah, look forward to actually seeing that with commentary and stuff like this. It was some of the most fun I've had watching Digimon. Like some decks, if they were gonna get stuck to top tables, thank God it was a deck that just ching ching every single round, bro. It was just gambling and it was infectious. Like we said, Marvin.
The chat went off, dude. It was
Like,
crazy.
we
I
went
haven't seen
off.
it.
And Marvin also just got suckered into it. He made some decisions that no non-gambling person would make, but then suddenly, every single person, you're only 25 hands away from becoming a billionaire.
Yep.
Oh yeah, 25. No, 30.
35 hands of blackjack away from being a billionaire.
Yeah.
And there were no billionaires except one. He bowed out gracefully at top 4.
I think what it was there was a game that he should not have won, but I don't know what possessed his opponent. I don't know if it was like the spirit of the avatar, like Roku takes over and like ends Aang, and is like, Aang, you're gonna misplay here. And like, bro,
It's a canon event.
it was like, bro dropped a quantum because Kwang was stuck on 5s or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And then it reveals a 5. The guy bought decks and he's like, this was a great idea. And then I think he searches and gets the 5 that he needs because he had like 8 memory or something.
Yeah,
And
it was
I'm just like-
unbelievable.
I'm just like, you couldn't like open pass?
Yeah.
Would that have not been better?
The Twitch chat went nuts. It was crazy.
Insane.
Yeah, it was a fun event. I'm hoping Salford is even
I hope.
30% as interesting as that run will be.
Fanboy is bringing some like rancid shit, like in terms of like, some of us are going to be on meta, but some of us,
Some of us are not. Let's call it that way.
Derek still doesn't even know what he's playing. And if you remember the last time that we had him on the channel, it was one of the funniest deck profiles of all time. The one thing I'm kind of sad about for Salford is there's going to be no like 11 p.m. brain rot, just completely exhausted deck profile making in the hotel because we're all just gonna be like, all right,
Well,
guys,
see you guys.
yeah,
Gotta go
let's go
home.
get food, then go home.
We'll film it somewhere before people go. That's the
We
plan.
can do it at the pub or something.
Yeah,
It would be really funny. Just,
we know some places.
His deck profile.
Yeah, well, I mean, whoever's nearest as well. It all works out.
Burgerism deck profile.
Yes. Hey, listen, the Salford Survival Guide is coming. We know I think that's the name of the episode, right?
yeah, it's the name of the
Yeah.
episode. We'll actually do like a
Do like where to go to eat, what's going on, got dietary restrictions, got a number of people you're going with, got the whole sitch for you, and then the buses too, because if Google
Are
doesn't.
we doing?
But we might have another segment.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are we suspiciously looking at graphs?
we are going to be suspiciously looking at
Are we
graphs.
zooming in on anything?
Are we zooming in
We
on
might be,
anything?
but before we do that, we did have a question about EX7. What people's thoughts on EX7 are?
Set is tight.
Too far away for me right now to actually be invested.
Yeah, the thing with EX7 at the moment is it's like the BT17/Rare Deck format in the West, or sorry, in the East looks really fun. So I don't think anybody's in a huge rush. Like maybe you're not a big blue hybrid guy, I get that. Maybe you're sick of Paladin mode, I get that very much so. But like on the whole, it's a pretty healthy format. Kind of top of the space is pretty interesting and diverse. There's some new Mimons. There's some Monzemon, like fun toolboxy things. The new starter deck cards go into those things to make the decks a little bit more exciting. But like, you know, there's also Big Bad Omnimon DNA box, and there's Imperial is doing what it does, and you know, it's a really interesting kind of, like, some people have called it BT12 again. I think it's BT12, but like kind of more exciting.
I find
some new sparks.
I find it really hard to be invested into formats that are that far into the future. Like the format has to look like really good for me to actually care. Like BT16, most of the time I will be one.
BT17 is the format. If you're not caught up yet because you've got a regional, I totally understand that. But the hype you're thinking of 16 will be real in 17.
Sure, but for me it's more like I guess it's because we're in.
Want to play Bugs as a top tier deck? Best deck in the game.
We're in like the competitive like season for us. Like we have a ton of stuff back to back to back.
Sure.
So I'm putting most of my energy into like the things that are happening next week and like over the course of the rest of the month.
For sure.
So I don't really have like a ton of thoughts about EX7. Maybe tricks, you know, there's some funny cards in EX7 like a blue floodgate that, you know, makes a certain aquarium a little bit better.
I mean, I'm not getting Defex in it. My aquarium's safe from Defex.
That is true. That is a pretty nice change.
It's like you got a lid for your aquarium.
Yeah. All the fish kept jumping out.
Sorry, Tom. I just want to make a clip really quick. The Three Muskets cards all suck. They're all awful. None of them are interesting. None of that deck is fun. Anyone who liked the deck in the deck back then just liked it because it was fun to puke out your option cards. The deck never had an exciting identity or engine or anything like that. It was just the next purple draw discard pile. So the fact that they're finally doing something unique to the deck is great, but at the moment it's all so mid, bro.
All right.
Okay, I get that the Kendrick diss track dropped like last night, but you're going at it with the same hand imposter.
I hate that shit.
What did Gundramon do to you?
That card is a vanilla. There's nothing interesting about it.
Options. I hate the way that you
I hate the way that you on play blocker.
I hate the way you can't be removed from the void.
I'm talking to Gundramon, telling him that he should have been there for his daughter.
For little deputy.
Anyway, my bad. I'm not going to start
the story of deputy.
Yeah, the rat game goes too hard.
All right, are we ready though? We've got some fun lined up for you. You guys like game shows?
Well, I like being on one end of the game show.
All right, well, it's not your week to make the other suffer. Unfortunately, you have to partake in a little game that was cooked up by the guy in the top right and the guest that wasn't here. I fucked it.
I'm going in the tunnel.
We are going
purple?
in the tunnel.
Here we go.
There we go. Purple indeed. We're going to be playing Zenimon Zoom In. And for those of you that wonder, what the hell is that? Y'all like Guess Who?
I'm all right at it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I've upgraded it. Last time I just gave you guys some blurry ass screenshots. This time I'm giving you a whole ass presentation.
PowerPoint.
He did it.
Yeah. So this time
Week 2 in Little Blue.
Yeah, this time we're going to be doing a little PowerPoint And I'm going to lose my presenter thing over and over again. Okay, we found it. So the way this works is I'm going to give you some price charts and you guys are going to work together as a collective. Maybe there's points involved if you can also play. It's like competitive, cooperative, that kind of thing. You're going to try and figure out, chat, you guys can play along as well. Yeah, like Castle Crashers or Battle Block Theater. You guys have to try and figure out what card it is and what alt it is. If you can get it on the nose, that's an extra point for you if you're keeping track of your points. If you guys want to play along at home, keep track of your own points. We actually had some comments on this one, people playing along, and they were very happy about a certain card that the guys did not get at all last week. And I've decided to put together 4 more cards for this. We'll try and speed through them, and I have plenty of hints, and it's in a PowerPoint now. So card number 1. Oh yeah, here's, you know, the mascot, Digimon. It's that guy. Card number 1 looks a little like this.
Tom, I'm so sorry. You're going to have to do so much heavy lifting here, buddy. Me and Marcio are awful at this game. Okay, card number 1.
Okay, well,
it was £30 back in September, and it's now about 20. Oh, you're right. What? Oh, Andrew, sorry, Andrew, have you changed the search parameters?
I have not touched any of them. So they are still whatever they were last time. I'm setting a stopwatch so I can force you guys to take hints after certain amounts of time.
What card has been around since basically the inception of the game for this long? My instincts are telling me like Magna Angemon.
So this is before BT10, right?
2022 is
September 22 is when I started playing the game, and that was just before BT10.
Wow, really?
So. Okay.
It's been.
Wait, what year is it? It's 2024.
It's 24, yeah.
Okay.
This is impossible. That can't. That 2 years ago can't be BT9. That's impossible.
In my head, I was like, Digimon 2020. The game came out like a year first after or something like that. So, you know, it has to be, you know, set 1 through 5 or whatever. But no, okay. So this is at least a card that's.
It was £30 in BT9.
Dude.
Like 5 in like what, EX3?
Dude.
I want to lean if it has dropped like this much. I want to say like Oryuken, maybe.
No, I think it's still more than.
No, Oryuken.
That's it. It's still
regular Oryuken definitely has tank.
You're right. My bad.
So because like around but it wasn't £30 in BT10. Technically, it was a full power.
You guys want your first hint?
Sorry, I'm American. I need to do the math. So that second date is the 5th of November, 2022.
Yes.
That's basically the ban list that would explain it falling off a cliff.
And
so I think you're looking at an Alphamon. If it spikes again in summer 2023, which it kind of does, you're looking at Alphamon cards. This could be.
Yeah, I think Alphamon is like what I'm leaning towards.
Okay, you guys thinking Alphamon? We had a Zwart Defeat pit in chat. And then taken back with much gusto.
Zwart Defeat was because BT.
He was more than £30 too.
He also wasn't seeing play for him to like tank this much after like a potential ban list, right?
Ready for hint number 1?
Sure.
Wait, I want to hear what Trix.
Tricks. So yeah, you got anything?
I mean, Alphamon is kind of what I'm thinking as well. So I'm be down for just the first hint. To be honest.
Oh, can I just throw a guess in there so I've got a separate hint so we can narrow things down?
Go on.
I'd like to say that this is an alt Chimeramon.
Interesting. Well, your first hint is that I am one of 5 versions of this card, of which there are 4 artworks.
Oh, fuck off, dude. I hate you so much.
It's not an Alphamon. It's not an Alphamon. I hate the way that you
give me hints.
Yes, sir.
5 versions of this card. Okay, well, if there's 5 versions, think about what's...
5 versions, there are 4 artworks. This could be something with like a finalist stamp card, like like participant, finalist, whatever.
For people that haven't tuned into the last episode or are new to this, I will be very specific about wording. Artworks, versions, stamps, they're all different words that mean different things. Card, Digimon, when we talked about the ban list, instances, you have to be... I will, just like how Tom does mem gauge, I will be incredibly specific with my wording. And that is what matters.
What
There's a-
tanked so
There's a
bad?
good point. In
That's the
chat.
ban list, Marcio. That's the ban
Wegurumon
list.
promo. The Wegurumon promo were very expensive, and then they became like, well,
No,
they
there's-
got hit, so they just
Like the
There's
second
that
one
Wergarumon's promo did not fall under £10 in November. There's just no, because that was EX3 format. That deck was predicted to be Bediff. There's simply no way it's level 5 Wergarumon.
What was in that ban in the BT10 ban list? It
the
was
BT10
like
ban list was
Greymon.
Doru Greymon and Crossheart,
Oh,
Cross4, and Sunrise Buster.
it could be like pre-release stamped Doru Greymon because you have
That's a good call.
if it's like okay, Andrew says 5 versions of this card that could include the BT13 version as well
4
as like,
artworks. There's not 4 artworks of that.
there is
card.
BT13 original.
No.
There are BT13 original. Not Tamer Party. Locals regular.
Yeah, yeah.
Locals winner.
Okay, that's not. So we got clunked on this last time. Andrew defined artworks as artworks by a unique artist. The silver border and the starry border would be the same artwork.
Correct.
So that's not 4.
Does it have another one?
Wait, run it back. Pre-release and the regular is the same artwork.
Then there's the BT13 one.
So there's the 2 alts, the 2 regular ones.
And yeah, the common BT13.
So that's 2 artworks, 4 versions of the card. So it can't be Doru.
Also, BT13, if you're talking about the one of, BT13 would be a different card. When I say of the card, I mean the card by its set ID.
Yeah, he means BT7 Doru Greymon, and it does not have
analog. Sorry, I keep saying analog. Cool Boy, maybe.
Cool Boy only has 2, although it's all again credited as the same artist.
Sure,
so.
right.
You ready for your next hint?
Give me a second.
No, I think we have to lock in something at each juncture. This is
what has 4 artworks and 5 versions. Because 4 artworks, I'm thinking like a BT12 card, maybe.
This is like BT8 Magnamon. This is BT8 Magnamon. I'd like to lock that one in.
No. BT8 Magnamon is. Why would it see plus? Oh, I guess like Magna
X, and then when BT EX3 came out, it was just getting bodied. I would like to lock in as for my prediction for this one, BT8 Magnamon.
You fellas can also feel free to disagree. We've still got more hits.
We just gotta narrow stuff down, guys. We gotta print the thing off. That's what we did wrong last time. We didn't lock in a guess with each hint. We need to expedite the process.
Okay.
What do you think, Marcio and Trix? You got anything? The synapse is firing.
I'd be down to take another hint, to be honest.
Marcio, you ready to bolt? Maybe Tom just clears up the points.
Hold on. 5 versions of this card, but 4 artworks. An Omnimon of some kind, maybe like a Blitz Omni.
It could be a Blitz Omni, but again, it is what was like 30. It then dropped to 5, then went back to 10.
I think that card has more than 4 artworks.
I think it does actually. Yeah.
OG Kaiser Coliseum. Then
there is 2 Kaiser Coliseums.
I feel like Magna has more than 4 artworks as well, right? But maybe
Magna.
It has the original, the Tamer Party, the
Kaiser Coliseum. The
regular 4 was on the same ban list, but it doesn't have 4 arts.
So it's regular, the alt, the
expensive one that got tacoed for Andrew, the regular, the alt art, and the
pre-release / LM2.
Yeah, the LM2 one,
which isn't out in English.
But you have never mentioned counting.
True. Yeah. No, I have been very specific about.
Yeah. So it's not something I'm going to rule out.
What was in that BT10 ban list? Was it a Crossheart card?
All right, I'm giving you guys your second hint.
Let me look in.
Oh, the card was a calling from Darkness, Marcia.
Yeah.
That was the other card.
So was it like a purple card, maybe?
I already locked in Chimera one.
All right. Well, I can tell you that I am one of the oldest cards in the game's lifespan.
Okay, so this is like an ancient card. So like I said, this maybe Magna Angemon, because like it's a card that still sees, like purchases to this day.
Yeah, the original Magna Ange is a good pick at that point.
Because you have 5 versions of the cards.
He has the original, the double pack that came out last Christmas.
And then he has the second anniversary.
Which is not another, it's not a unique artwork.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah,
I can only think of 2 artworks.
Okay, what's like one of the oldest cards in the game's lifespan that has held? Like...
BT1 War Greymon has a ton of printings and was expected
Oh,
to do really
that's a
well.
good one.
This
But,
could
like,
be
why
the
would we have...
Oh, I would like to lock in the original alt where he's like standing like with the fist through the robot part. I
But
think
why
it's
would
that
he have
one.
tanked in...
Why
why
would
would
the
he
game
have
that
tanked...
got worse?
Okay, because you have original Machine Jabon head, you have the one that's like weirdly non-foil, you have
Yeah, the one from the
RBO1
reprint deck.
print that matches one of the original ones, and then it would have to be a fourth one from somewhere.
Sorry, 4 artists: the original from BT1, the alt from BT1, the ST10 like fake reprint one is a unique artwork, and nope, I can't think of a 4th one. The rest is just gold borders. So
a bunch of people. I mean, we saw it in chat as well. People thinking maybe.
I've already said I was locking it in.
I think
my mouth on that one.
unless Trix has like is thinking of like something completely different,
or he's iterating on what you guys have said, kind of one up you on the points.
Which he should. We need to narrow this down, otherwise we're getting screwed here.
What's relevant? Terriermon?
No, don't for those.
It has
had the game's lifespan. No, Terriermon wasn't in BT1.
It was in 1.0.
Oh, true.
He was in 1.5.
Sorry, are we talking like getting like in terms of like English or JP?
He's about to read the prompt.
English. In the interest of not just reading the prompt to you, yes.
So when you say 5 versions of this card, that's assuming the same card with the same text, not like a named card that has like...
Yeah, it has
yes, I'm speaking of its set ID.
Okay,
if you were going onto Card Market and you typed in this card, you would see show versions and it would say 5 different.
I would like to lock in BT3 Terriermon.
That's a good pick. Well, we'll see if the next hint has any of you guys feeling pretty confident about your selections. Is what I would say if it worked.
I just had a brainwave that it's...
I am one of the signature attacks of a fan favorite Digimon.
Wait,
Gaia Force does have 4 artworks.
Oh wait, signature. Sorry, yeah, I did not read the whole thing.
Signature attack of a fan favorite Digimon.
The original starter deck, the Gallantmon starter deck, the full art from Nats, and
premium Bandai.
The premium Bandai one, which has a stamped version, which is the 5th edition. It's Gaia Force from ST1. It's got 4 different artworks and a 5th one, which is a stamp.
But I guess we can just say Gaia Force.
It would be the most
or Kakaitis Breath.
Oh my god! If that dip is the release date of BT10, so it fell off after the ST10 that got kind of eaten into BT10. ST10 was like in BT10. It was like a really weird thing.
Kakaitis also works because
Kakaitis wasn't reprinted.
It was in RBO1.
Yeah, but not in the 5th of November 2022. And I'll tell you, Gaia Force was reprinted then.
No, I'm saying because like if November is like a different format, Beelstar was seeing play at a point in like BT9 as like an anti like Alphamon deck.
Mm-hmm.
So Kakaitis could have maybe spiked. So I'm not ruling out Gaia Force. I'm just thinking like the next one.
How many
I can see the bet.
Holy Wave, the recovery +1 Holy Wave.
Holy Wave does
have
a good
pick. That's a good pick.
Couple, yeah. But a signature attack of a fan favorite.
Kirinmon is a fan favorite Digimon to some people.
I'm gonna go with Gaia Force first too.
Yeah, PB01 Gaia Force. This is not the stamped one though. The stamped one is the...
So is that all 3 of you locking in PB01 Gaia Force?
Something like that, yeah.
All right. Well, the final hint, if you would have needed it, was I have been power crept, but my effect is used as slang for other cards, which would indeed apply to Gaia Force from PB01, the non-stamped version. You can see all 5 versions there as well. Card number 1 was, the premium Bandai product. It's really interesting that this card has like that price graph, because when you go there's a bunch of Japanese listings that bring the price hella down on Gaia Force. Which is...
So somebody must have bought like a Japanese one on accident.
Yeah, I know of some people that have done so. Reading is hard.
I have a Japanese Agumon X in my desk.
All right, but do you have card number 2.
This is diabolical.
We've gone from
man,
the 30s
the sky
down.
high price of 20 or £2.
Yes, sir.
All of it
This
starting
is a
in
BT11 card
February.
or something. This is a BT11 card. Only the cards from that set move mad like this at like this price.
Yeah, but up
range.
to 2, yeah. To be fair, what came out in February this year? It was the starter deck, right?
So this card, yeah, we only have the price graph from this year. So it's either like a BT15 common or something, or a EX5 common, or a...
If it's a BT15 common, it's less than 60p. Guaranteed it's less than 60p. The commons are like a 10p thing.
I've had a really heinous thought.
Go on.
Yeah, go ahead.
What if it's alt art Marukimon?
If it did, Marcio got scammed for those £5 ones.
I'm down to go with that, to be fair.
That's a good first lock-in, you guys.
Alt art Marukimon was 20p on April 18th. That's what he's saying right now.
But the card was like that bad. Like
I could scrape the glitter off and sell it at a craft store for more than that.
This has to be like an uncommon or a rare to be going up by this much for a specific period of time and then peaking again, like semi-recently. Like any decks that maybe like Numemon cards.
I'm thinking
like,
it could be a red
like
hybrid
BT14, like BT14 Numemon, or like a weird rare like that. That's like a
weird rare is a good. I think you're kind of on the right money with weird rare.
So we've had Bukamon, BT15 Betamon in chat. Any holo common from Dimensional Phase. We had Alt Marukimon.
Oh shoot! I have a crazy called shot. If it's a holo common, this is BT11 Vemmon foil.
Ooh.
I have bought some of mine for a similar price point to these, and this lines up with the Liberator announcement.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into something like Numemon, like a pre-release stamp like Numemon or Platinum or something like that.
And Tom had Alt Marukimon, and then other Tom also had foil Vemmon. And I can tell you that the first hint is that I have artwork referencing a bygone product.
Bygone product?
What? Wait, what do you mean by bygone? I'm foreign.
It's not his first language, Andrew. Be nice.
Okay. It is referencing Digimon media that is not currently sold.
Digimon.
Guys, I don't think it's Vemmon.
Yeah.
DS games?
I mean, Vemmon would be in a DS game that's not currently sold.
That was a PlayStation game.
I swear
Galactimon's each other.
He's in the
It's like Digimon World 3.
Is he not also in Cross Wars? The Cross Wars DS game we never got?
Oh god, it might be. It might be. I haven't played that one in a while.
Guess what? Neither of them are being sold.
Yeah.
Bygone.
A Digitama Tamagotchi card thing? That is an interesting guess.
Yeah, I mean, the BT10 collection of them all reference to the original VPET.
I feel like we're not going to get anywhere.
Just for the VPET.
No, not anything. Because
I think
Watch products is just not sold anymore.
Exactly. I think we're just...
No, hang on. Give me at least give me 60 seconds. I can count out something in 60 seconds.
Boop, 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 boop.
Oh my god, don't play Jingle Low. Editing Andrew's gonna good me on this one. I would like this could be Brainwave. This is around the time of a Digimon Con announcement. February was Digimon Con. So I'm thinking Pulsemon, I'm thinking something like him. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's like this is the stamped original Pulsemon. Promo Pulsemon to be more clear. I don't know his promo number. You'll have to forgive me off the top of my head. But I would say this is a Digimon Con promo Pulsemon.
Interesting. Well, let's see if
those got super cheap at the end.
Let's see if the next hint helps you guys. Many cards from my series exist, but I am not Bandai's chosen.
Many cards from my series exist.
What's like a Okay, he said series. So is it like Appmons or some shit like that?
Appmon has never been referenced in the TCG.
But many cards from his series have.
No,
like,
none at all.
None of them.
Agumon,
There are no
Agumon
He's not an Appmon.
No, but Agumon shows up in the series.
In which series? Appmon?
Agumon, just because there are Agumon cards isn't a reference to Appmon because Agumon showed up in Appmon one time.
It's crazy that Agumon is in multiple series and he went with the one that it definitely wasn't.
BT Tamer set. Yeah, I mean EX2, but EX2 cards are not like they're not generally this cheap. I mean, it
Cards
would have
from
to
my
be.
series exist, but I am not Bandai's chosen one.
I mean, like the other
What's-
component to this is like if you're gonna get meta with Digimon Tamers represents Kaiser Coliseum stuff sometimes. So it's like blue card and the plugins look like the Kaiser Coliseum spell cards. They look
I
like
have no-
plugins from Kaiser Coliseum.
I have no fucking clue, dude.
Do you?
Yeah, you're probably onto something with Kaiser Coliseum.
But for cheap, that's the thing. They don't tend to do nostalgia bait for cheap.
I don't know. Is this like a
Well, I mean,
Sakuyamon?
if
like a-
the nostalgia bait doesn't bait enough, then maybe it does go cheap.
Is this like Rika or something? Because like she's like using like Kaiser Coliseum cards in the artwork, but then like, she's not one of Bandai's chosen one because she's not like she doesn't have a double Typhoon deck set yet, and Andrew's just adding in like a Sakuyamon card to make Terry like roll a little bit harder.
I was gonna say this is BT9 Dorumon, but he is one of Bandai's chosen ones.
It's definitely
Yeah, that's
one
what
of
I'm saying.
Bandai's
I
chosen.
think this is like a Sakuya thing.
Interesting.
I think Ramon is one of Bandai's chosen ones, buddy. It gets cards pretty regularly and gets loving care. Some of
But-
Bandai's not chosen ones are not Digimon that feature on Scrambles, dude.
Okay, then it could
Scrambles
be-
are the best of the best, the guys that Bandai wants you to love. and it
Okay,
ain't
then
one of them.
Justimon, a Justy card.
Yeah, this could be Monodramon. I'd
like
give you
or
that.
Rio, like Alt Art Rio.
Alter.
Tricks, any thoughts?
I'm very bad at this game. Let's just.
That's okay. the point is everyone's bad at this game, but this
Yeah,
one
all
should
fucking
narrow
suck.
it down. My Tamer and I are represented in this artwork.
My Tamer and I. So again, it's like it's either Rena or Justy or a Tamer.
Yeah, this could definitely be Alter Justimon. Oh no, this could be not Alter
This is a-
Justimon, Alter
This is a
Rio. but-
Tamer. No, sorry.
My Tamer and I are represented in this artwork.
Oh, is it the
might-
Alt Art Cyberdramon?
Yes, because Rio is in the background.
No, that card is more expensive than Rio. Alt Rio has a Justimon in the background, and I think that would still constitute the same pick. But Alt
It's Cyberdramon.
Cyberdramon saw the Cyberdramon saw some use in Machine and was never that cheap.
Yes.
You saying that card's really went for at max £2?
Sorry, you're not saying at max, Andrew.
This is
You're saying
recent.
at max as of February, which is a
As of
totally
February.
different question.
True. As of February.
Hold on. Yeah, one of Bandai's chosen. Yeah, this has to be like a fucking Justimon card or something.
Because in theory,
It's also
the
funny for it to be a Justimon for Marcio.
like the Marvin stuff, even though it's not directly Justimon support.
Oh, that's a great call.
Yeah.
Justimon.
I'd like-
support in a way.
I'd
Let's
like
go-
to
I'm gonna look in like Cyberdramon or something.
Alt Rio Akamiya from EX2, please.
All
I'm
right.
gonna go with Alt Cyberdramon as well.
From EX2?
Yeah.
Marcio, are you regular Cyberdramon, alt Cyberdramon?
It would have to be like old Cyberdramon. I'm just splitting between like, well, Tom's picking Rio and I'm picking Cyberdramon and
Fair.
Trix is picking Cyberdramon. It's
You
just,
You guys,
it's like I'm on the 50-50 here.
you
but-
are kind of on the right track.
Hmm.
'Tis the season, so they say. Is your final hint.
Oh, it's Christmas Tentomon! Oh, lock it in, Christmas Tentomon.
Oh yeah, Christmas Tentomon because it's like
I'd like to lock
Kaiser-
in Christmas Tentomon.
yeah, Kaiser Coliseum checks from
Slam
the
it, send
series,
it,
but I'm
go.
not. Yeah. Me and the Tamer are in the R. Yeah. It's okay. Yeah, Tento. Yeah.
It
yeah,
is
yeah.
Christmas
Yes!
Tento.
I'm sick of this game.
Yeah. So there it is. Yeah, this is disgustingly cheap. Because
Yeah.
Yeah.
t-
'Cause the card's not even playable.
How many have you got
thought
lying around,
for
Marcio?
I have all of them.
I thought
No,
for sure,
I
Marcio,
bet
you were going
you
to
have
get
like
this
8
one.
of this card.
Yeah, something like that.
This one
yeah.
was your time to shine, Marcio, and you bottled it,
What do you mean? One of Bandai's chosen one. I'm not going to think about 01.
bro.
Half of the kids are not Bandai's chosen one. More than half.
That's
Kari
what he
has a
said.
billion. Kari has like a billion. There's a million Agumons. There's a million Gabumons. Tento has 3 printing.
I mean, yeah.
Also, he said it's not one of Bandai's chosen ones.
Yeah.
Yes. But my tamer and I are representing this artwork. I didn't think like
Yeah.
I tunnel vision on like Digimon Tamers, Kaiser Coliseum, OG card game.
The EX2 one. As soon as Trix said it, I went, this hint was detrimental. I forgot those arts existed. All right, and we just keep scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Fuck.
This could be anything.
What jumped to 30p?
Okay.
What fucking common?
In the
was
interest
30p?
of anything, y'all can have the first hint for free. It would be otherwise irrelevant if not for pre-release.
Oh,
BT15 KnTElixar.
No, but this is 23 though.
This is 2024.
Like August 23.
And it already existed, so
No,
it
of
has to
course,
be a
you're talking
pre-release
about-
from what was pre-releasing thingy.
It's BT13.
August pre-release.
No, BT13 had come out well before August.
Yeah, but it was the summer set. It was
Yeah,
the
I'm pretty sure
summer set.
BT13 came out in July.
Yeah, which
EX4 was the end of June.
but that's like the only pre-release that we were able to play at that point.
But like 13 regionals was November, right? Or October.
Yeah, it was such a long format.
Wow, is it really that long?
Yeah, it was nearly 4.5 months.
Jeez.
Yeah, 13 was like disgustingly long.
There's no
Because RB1 came out, that was what broke it up.
Yeah, but okay, relevant if it not for pre-release, it's like
so it's either 12 or 13 pre-release, right?
it's either this card has a pre-release stamp that's ridiculously cheap, or this was just like a pre-release like all-star, or it was like a box topper maybe.
Interesting. I like the thoughts that are going around. We heard KnTElixar, but we also heard that taken back. Any other thoughts? Any pre-release all-stars floating around?
I want to say BT13 Craniumon. That's my initial guess.
BT13 Craniumon's a super rare.
No, he's a rare.
It's a rare.
It's just rare.
He's just a rare.
Craniumon.
Yeah, him and
What
Ulver.
were the black supers? Alpha and
and
Was it not Genki?
I can't look it up.
I'm pretty sure it was.
What was participation for that pre-release? I think it was the first of the full arts. So things like the security Greymon and
What's like meta
oh,
relevant?
the Vmon, yeah.
What's like meta relevant-ish that
in January of 2024
in pre-release
for that would have like a pre-release stamp
because the price. It's only a quick jump, but Craniumon gets used in the Pokemon, right?
Can I lock in BT13?
Oh,
Jumbo Gamamon, please.
Interesting.
No,
you guys want your next hint?
Because it would have tanked afterwards. So yeah, something that would have been able to be picked up by a Pockley, maybe.
I like the thought process. I can't tell you much more than that, unless you want the next hint, in which case I can definitely tell you more.
Hint me, baby.
All right.
One more time.
Wait, Marcus has a pre-release stamp as well as like the thing, but it wouldn't be that cheap.
Yeah, Marcus.
No,
2p.
No, even for pre-release stamp.
Marcus isn't.
I want to say I did start making these after I knew Trix was on, so like I didn't try and like gear these towards your other guess. This one, maybe this works against you, maybe it doesn't. My tag would mark me as a Digimon that is edible.
So it's a food thing.
Could be
Vegetation,
fish, food. What other things are edible? I mean, anything's edible.
Pre-release fish.
Doesn't have to be fish. It could be vegetation.
Yeah,
I'm looking at like pre-release
birds.
Podamon.
Birds.
Huh?
Stamped Podamon.
Birds aren't well, they are.
He's not a never mind. He's not an uncommon. He's a common. Edible. This sucks. I hate this.
Sorry.
The ethical question alone is horrible.
August. So that's BT13, right? Or was BT13?
100%.
Yeah, okay. Pre-release support. Lala, Sunflow, Lila didn't have pre-release stamps, I don't think, because Emily doesn't have them.
Dude, this is a nightmare. 30p, and that's what people were hyped for.
30p in
Could
January.
Torikora Balmon be one?
That's funny.
Yes.
Does he have a
It came out
stamp?
in BT13. It has a pre-release
No,
stamp.
he came out in
I
12.
mean, it doesn't have to be stamped.
Sorry, he came out
The
in
regular
12.
card could just randomly have spiked.
I would be irrelevant if not for pre-release. What?
Yeah, so was it, like, it could have the pre-release formats. It could have been relevant to. Like, it doesn't have to have a stamp. It could have just been really good in a pre-release.
Yeah.
format.
So what was like a good pre-release card in BT13?
Omnimon, the secret rare.
Uh,
That was a good
No,
one. I rated
what
that
were the
one.
what were the fucker cards in BT13? It has to be like the fucking fish cards, right? Like the blue cards were really annoying.
Yeah, but they were like the blue turtle guys.
Yeah, and then like, what did blue do in like EX5? It was Grace Nova.
And Melga.
Grace Nova, EX5 didn't have a pre-release though, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying like, what would be a card that was relevant for the pre-release, but then it spiked a little bit for people to pick it up in EX5?
It spiked at the end of EX5. No. Oh no, that is EX5's release, right? Yeah, EX5 came out in January.
What were people coping on?
I have
okay,
no idea.
You have to think of a card that was out in BT13, relevant enough to be good in a pre-release, and then be useful for an EX5 deck.
It's Keenan Crier. This is Galaxy Loop. I'd like to
Well,
lock
yeah.
in BT13
Keenan Crier's
Keenan
not
Crier.
edible.
But Ravemon.
Ravemon, the bird pieces are. Oh, also it's a Digimon. It can't be Keenan. Shoot.
Falco, did Falco?
He wasn't
There
in
is
the
a
loop.
Falco.
He wasn't in the loop.
No. But like, there's a Falcomon in BT13 that has a Falcomon, Falcopack, Crow. Do any of those have pre-release stamps?
No, only Ravemon, and that's it. I own them.
I think Chromon's also like a cyborg.
Yeah,
instead of-
Rave works.
He's an avian. The only one that's a cyborg is Ravemon.
Yeah,
Avians
Ravemon
sound
works.
edible.
They do.
I'm gonna look in BT13 pre-release Ravemon for now, just for this one.
Okay.
I don't know why you would want it in EX5.
This one is an interesting one because I like the
Saber
ideas
Dramon came out.
you guys have all gone for. The next hint is that my DP value is my play cost times 1000.
That's great. I love
What the
this. That's
fuck?
such a good hint.
My DP value is my play cost, so times 1000.
So it'd be like a 3 to drop 3k or a 4 to drop 4k.
Or an 11 to drop 11k. I don't know how much certain Royal Knights play costs might be.
Gallantmon's a 13 to drop 13k. I wish mine were 30p.
But it's not edible.
Gallantmon is not edible, to be fair, yes.
Dude, this is the hardest card game of all time.
It is, and it could get so much easier off the next hint.
13. All right, but I want to beat these two, so I have to guess.
Falco. It's like Falco is like the only thing that like Falco or Ravemon's like the only thing for me that's currently taking most of the boxes. So irrelevant if not for the pre-release. What did that card do on pre-release? It was like
It
on
gave
deletion.
stuff. No, it gave retail, right?
Yeah, great tell you.
What, Falcomon? Yeah, your
Yeah,
purple
it was
Digimon
on-
retail.
on
It
play.
gives your purple Digimon retail.
Yeah, on play gives something retail. It's edible, and then how much DP? It doesn't. I think it has like 1K
Falcomon is
DP.
a 1k DP, dude.
Yeah, so it doesn't apply.
Dude, I'm going back to Potamon. He's a 3 drop 3k. No, he's a 4 drop 4k. That's a
But, like,
with Potamon.
You're looking
Why
at
would you want
Potamon?
it-
Interesting.
I'm going
Why would it-
Potamon. I'm going Potamon. I believe.
Trix, do you have anything?
I've got nothing, man. I'm
Okay,
I'm still
Let's
stuck
think
on
together.
for a Balmon, but I don't think that's it.
no, because I think that was 12.
Also, it can't be because it's DP. Well, I mean, technically, it's got no play cost, no DP.
Yeah, that could just be Andrew.
Options. Options aren't Digimon, and Tamers
What was-
aren't Digimon.
Trix, what was good in pre-release BT13? What were like the standout cards?
The turtle, Jumbo Kamemon was great.
Jumbo stuff, Kentaros, but he's not edible.
Ask Tesco.
Ah, horse.
But, oh no.
He's not a horse though. He's a holy warrior.
Okay.
They thought about that one.
Heckmon
I'd
is
like to log in.
We have not been IKEA'd.
Heckmon is 5 play cost 5 KDP.
Yeah, the blocker one.
Yeah, and it's like on play or when digivolving blocker.
Pokemon
So
has
that-
no. Pokemon does not have an on play. He's just a blocker, and his
Oh,
inherit is
sure.
the trash from
Yeah, I guess it's relevant for pre-release because it was like an accessible blocker.
This is
But Andrew would not be as mean as he would be to me right now if he said I would not otherwise be relevant about a Ravemon card.
Yeah, I would never do that to you.
Yeah.
If not for pre-release, what else was good? Did
how
the
Joe,
Ghost game?
Join me in the kitchen crew from BT12.
Did the Ghost Game kids get it? Because the Ghost Game kids got their support.
Oh my
the long
god,
way around.
Angoramon?
Is he?
No, he's a one drop. He's
He's probably pretty edible.
Yeah, it's a rabbit. People eat rabbit.
Jelly.
I think that's a jellyfish. I don't think you're supposed to eat jelly.
I don't fucking know. Mark me as
Oh wait, no,
edible.
it's a mollusk.
Mollusks are edible.
Yeah, like
Angora.
Clams are mollusks.
Trix, what were you thinking?
how much DP do these Sukamons have?
3K and they play cost 3. And at the moment, I also feel like we're eating shit too. So I'm glad you're on the same wavelength.
All right, the final
What
hint is I'm a Manchester Digimon artist's favorite Digimon.
Ah!
It's Potamon.
It's Potamon! Oh my god, I just cleaned up like a bandit.
It is pre-release
Wow.
all-star
Wow.
BT12 Potamon. He is a 6-cost, 6k DP, and he went
food. Fuck you.
foolish. He is
Is
food
he actually
type.
just got off it?
Yeah, he's food
Yeah, I
type.
told you, join me with the kitchen crew. Damn, I get like 3 points for that.
This was actually shocking to me. I thought he was vegetation. We've been telling Jade that Potamon is usable instead of Red Vegemon, and that is just straight up a lie. He is
It's
not
also
searchable.
6k DP.
Yeah, bro's huge.
That means that you can't cheat it out in any way.
I don't know, Hellscythe Lamau. But
Yeah,
yeah, Potamon would not be relevant if not for pre-release. I have no idea why this card spiked to 30p. This one.
I bet, hey buddy, I bet it's you. I bet it's your fault.
Yeah, probably. And this one is also. Oh, it just went straight to the first hint. You guys get that one for free. I am the most expensive
nice.
card of my name.
At 18 pounds back in 420 of last year.
So it's been around since early 2023. 2023 started off with
BT7.
what the fuck are you?
Yeah,
smoking?
2023. Didn't 2023
No,
start with BT7, or is that 2022?
That's
2022.
2022.
Oh god, I'm so old, and we're all gonna die.
2023 was.
Sorry, it's 2 block. That BT 2023
Yeah.
is 2 blocks. So this is BT11.
2023 is start off with
BT11.
BT11. Yeah, so
What went to 17?
no, technically Emily started playing. At the end of
Emily always
2022.
says that. Emily, that's not true. You played armor in BT10 or whatever.
Eight.
No, BT8.
You got into Bloomlord in a real deck in 2020.
EX3. Yeah.
Also,
Okay,
reminder,
cool.
cards can be older than the price graph shows. It just might mean that
Yes.
they are actively still sold within a recent period.
The most expensive card of my name. What card has a couple of different arts or variations of the same name that would
Well,
warrant-
name is important because that could also just mean it's a popular Digimon. So like things that have had like I'm thinking Metal Greymon has a secret rare from BT1 that artificially raises the price of Metal Greymon's like average name.
Is this
There's also the blue
like
player
Sec
one.
+1 Greymon or some shit like that?
They were never 18 pounds. Not even the highest. Not in 2023.
Card of my name. Agumon.
This would have to be the most expensive Agumon.
No,
Yes.
it could conceivably be the most expensive Agumon in 2023. The promo that I bought off you, Andrew. The P09 P009
Oh,
Agumon.
from the EX3 Tamer set?
Yeah, I don't think the timeline quite lines up, but it would work.
Pounds around March. What was March? That was probably the next set. BT11 wasn't that. No. Because 12 was.
12 was the release in April, and then
Did
we
we have
got it
any
delayed
yet?
in May. We got it delayed in May.
what's great is I do these graphs, and then as you guys say these things, I try and like work backwards to where you guys are thinking. And I don't think the graph is particularly helpful for where I would have expected there to be a price hike.
That's a great thing for you to tell us on the game show.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It's just like Alex Trebek's like, dang, this Jeopardy hint sucks. Bad luck, guys.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You want another one?
Okay. Expensive card of my name. We need to start putting Digimon out there. So this has to be around since at least BT11. It can be any newer than.
I'm thinking Vmon. I would love you guys to bat this one out for me. There are no high rarity. Ulforce had Ulforce had a gold rare, buddy. That was like £100.
Oh god, yeah.
No, but I'm talking about like.
Oh my god, plus the Ulti Cup one.
I'm talking about like Ulforce as a deck, like jamming Vmon maybe, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. The most expensive Vmon in my head is probably the Ulti Cup Vmon or the first anniversary jamming Vmon. I don't think
it's currently going back up. It's like a Vmon that's going back up.
Yeah.
Right? Something like that.
Would it have spiked this wildly back in April though? Did we know about we didn't really know about Magnet X until
not of last year, certainly, but you know who was meta manipulating the Vmon stonks? Mr. Shinny Carey.
What was
6.2k channel views on that puppy.
£8 to £6, and it gradually made its way back up. But it has to be the most expensive card of my name, which there are more expensive Vmons than.
Are there more expensive Vmons?
There has to be.
What's the most expensive Vmon? Let's work from there. Because
probably the premium Bandai ones, like the one where he's holding like the golden...
yeah, I give those away.
EX1 Vmon? Is he?
No, the one where he's holding the golden armor egg.
Oh, the ST9 one.
Yeah. What else was in Mastemon cards? Most expensive card of my name.
There's expensive Mastemon cards.
Yeah,
none of them are £18. They're way more than that.
Yeah, because you have old Mastemon, you have Star Deck Maste, and then you have.
That's it.
Technically,
in terms of the
Gatomon? How much is the most?
No. The most expensive Gato is the super rare one. I'm leaning towards like Maste TBH.
As in
no, Gold Master exists.
Yeah, Gold Master exists.
Like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not. It was definitely not Master.
What were other like BT11 decks? It was like Ulforce,
Tyrannomon, Ulforce, BWG.
Oh.
Blue Flare got a couple pieces. Phoenixmon got some pieces.
Could it be Altar Akiko? Because that started as a low price Altar.
No, I got mine for cheap.
Oh, Christy.
But they went up. Like they went up.
Christy didn't exist in March.
There's no.
Oh shit! Yeah. Christy wasn't until a bit later.
All right, fellas, I'm going to give you your next hint. This one should change things up pretty drastically. I'm the most expensive card of my name, and I give Digimon the ability to pop rookies and many champions.
I give Digimon... So it's a tamer, right?
Not necessarily. It could be a tamer. It could be an option card. It could be the inherit on a Digi-Egg. Or even a Digimon.
Let's do some metagaming here. It's not purple because purple is all about the level. So it wouldn't be many champions and some rookies. It would be 3s and 4s. So it's not DP. Purple. It would be consistent. So it's probably DP or play cost. So blue or red.
And delete. Popping like means delete.
Yeah.
Is it Gilmon?
The most expensive Gilmon costs more than that. Especially back in March. No, it didn't. That's Ultica Gilmon's first wave, £18. Yeah, it does a great call, Tom. That could be the BT12 Gilmon.
I give
not
Digimon the Gigimon, right? Because like the Gigimon gives the ability to pop rookies and many champions. That's like a Digimon threshold.
There's no way that card is £17 in April though. That would be crazy.
No, but April is like leading up to BT12, which was when Gallant got its like BT12 support.
Yeah, which is when the Ulti Cup version of it came out. But but it can't be the most expensive card of the name. EX2 Gigimon costs more.
Does it?
Yeah, 100% sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Gigimon is the most expensive Gigimon.
This is what I'm saying. This could be EX2 Gigimon. Because the card existed already at this period, and card market doesn't go back all the way. But it's like this card was getting sales at that point. I'm just going to say Gigimon for the sake of like...
Yeah.
It's taking a few boxes.
I feel like it wouldn't have
Digimon
dropped that
didn't give you
low.
the ability to pop Digimon. It drew.
Well, but like,
Oh, that's yeah.
because like it increases the threshold from like
But
No,
that's
that's
BT12, and he isn't the most expensive one.
Yeah.
Interesting.
EX2 is the one
Sure.
that always
Yeah.
happens.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
old-
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
old one.
I love the direction you guys are going.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
think it's an. I don't think it's an egg, fellas. I'm thinking it's a tamer card. Yoli jumps to mind. She had a never 18-pound spike, but the tamer pack ones exist, and those are a little bit more expensive.
Cody, but like Cody was also never 16 pounds.
We pre-release Burning Gray. Those are expensive.
No, Marcus. There wasn't a Marcus that.
Didn't exist yet. Not back in March.
You know, I'm actually going to give you guys the next hint nice and early. You guys are actually really on the right track for this one. I don't want you to get off the right track.
Sure.
Your next hint is the only part of my line that has the X antibody is the mega level.
Oh, so level 5. So Rise Greymon, right?
Could be Rise.
Rise X.
All Force. All. No, Rise is not a mega. He's an
No,
ultimate.
The
Also-
only part
I
of my
don't. I
line.
hate when people go, my rookie mega ultimate, whatever. Just say 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, Mega Marcio is 6, so it can't be
6
Rise. But
and
it could be All
7.
Force.
6 and 7 are megas, which is why I have to be specific.
Okay, the only part of my line that has an X antibody is a mega level. I give Digimon the ability to pop many rookies and champions. It's not a Hercules card because I know that's there's only like Hercules
I like
X.
lock in the BT6 Balhookmon.
Oh, that's a cool call.
Any
That's-
Does
particular
Balhawk
version?
have an X antibody?
The red bordered version.
Oh, from the regional, the EP3
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah, that is actually pretty good. The only part of my line that has is my mega
Just
level. So
Jess
yeah,
and GX
just
are both mega X antibodies. The rest of the line doesn't have one. And the inherit from Balhook lets you pop 5Ks.
That's a great call.
That's pretty good.
I think that's going to be my pick. Is the red bordered BT6?
Okay, when we were talking about like tamers and stuff, and like Andrew was like, "I'm going to give you the next hint to not also get off track," right?
And it doesn't necessarily rule out that it's a tamer card because tamers correspond to lines.
What were we talking
frequently.
about for him to want?
We were
keep
talking
us-
about like Yole and Marcus, tamers that have popping and shrinking effects, for example. So, what would it allow that you would be popping? 4s and 5s. What was relevant in?
reason force to pop,
Dude, this is tough. This is a
and
good
then
game.
the
hate this
only
game.
lot is my mega level. So a level 6 that has
And 7. 7s could do it too.
sure 6 and 7 that has an X antibody.
It's like all the Royal Knights who don't have lines. So like there is no Vmon. I was about to say there's no X Vmon. That's not true.
So
Um,
Balhawk was around back then. He is kind of expensive.
Especially
Why
the
would he
event
have
pack.
spiked in?
BT13 support would have been coming out.
Yeah.
No, because April is too early.
I know, but like we would have been guessing the release.
Reveals in March.
Oh,
Available for
sure.
buying in April. Also,
Yeah.
event pack cards coming out. Well, no.
It is the most expensive card of his name because the other Balhawk.
Oh god,
that you
they
get-
were available at DC1. I remember Johnny pulling one. Yeah, the red EP3 cards were at DC1. This could totally be that Bauhawk one that Tom's talking about.
I'm good to lock in Balhawk.
All right, well, we'll see if the final hint makes you guys change your minds. Final
Okay,
hint
well,
is
it wasn't.
I'm the most represented in my event pack.
Come on, line. Because otherwise it's Diaboromon, but it doesn't go all the way up.
Wait, sorry. What did you say?
I'm saying it is the most. I'm tied for the most represented line in my event pack.
What?
So in that event pack, it had the hybrids, except for the red ones, and there were no black hybrids at the time. So it was Diaboromon's line, Huckmon's line, and then the corresponding hybrids plus their ancients.
Which
So
was-
I think Tom got it on the nose with the Bauhuckmon. Savior and Huck were also in there, yeah, but they aren't. They didn't let you pop rookies and champions. Savior, the Huckmon,
level.
the Huckmon is the search top 5 one, and then obviously the Savior was the one of Savior, and he didn't do shit for popping.
Is there like an event pack card from back then that dealt with stuff and has a mega?
Yeah, that's Bauhuckmon.
Yeah.
You would be correct. It is indeed.
Oh, okay. all of
EP3,
this.
Yeah, he clutched
BT6
that one out of
Valhalla.
nowhere. What a
Yeah.
beast.
Yeah, guys, I'm really bad at this game. Gets it like on hint fucking like 2.
Hint 3, yeah.
Yeah, this
What a
one.
beast.
This one, I was trying to. I really forgot what the first 2 fucking cards were. I'm not gonna hold you. But Tentomon, I was like, let me get one for Marcio. And I was like, let me get one for Trix. Because I knew Trix was in. So I was like, let me get a card for Trix. And I looked and I found the Bauhug and I did some stats. And I was like, okay, yeah, this works out. And that's why as soon as like you were like when you went to Guilmon, I'm like, yes, they're on the Royal Knights that pop shit. They figured out that it's red and it's Royal Knights. And then you started talking about Tamers. I'm like, okay, we're giving the 3rd hint. We cannot throw away 15
that
minutes.
It was like Red Royal Knights, but shout out to Usman, bro's in the chat like helping us out. Big up.
Yeah, Tom, fantastic read. I mean, also, NT, fantastic job in recognizing that the inherit had to be red or black because it was talking about champions. I love talking about Digimon by levels, and they're sometimes using the names because, yes, theoretically, Megas does cover 7s. So, yeah. But
This is an evil game show.
It's fantastic because it takes
Why did
me
I come up with this? This is Frankenstein's monster.
I want you to know it takes me nearly as long to build this as it does for you guys to play it. It took me nearly an hour to finish this, and I was setting a timer. This took 49 minutes, give or take.
Wow, we suck.
So
I think you're gonna have to have a like push the button, clock goes on screen, and if we don't have it, we skip the point.
Or go on to next one. I mean,
because we would just like you know how it's like 5 points, 4 points, 3 points. Like if none of us have a thing that we lock in yet, and we say lock in, I think we just forfeit one of the points. That's all we'd have to do otherwise.
Yeah, I could also maybe in future if you get like if you're dead on with something, maybe I just. But then again, I guess it would give people fewer time to actually get points. But yeah, this was this week's Zenimon Zoom-in. Thanks again, Marcio, for the idea. Thanks, Trix, for coming through with the one that I hoped that you would get.
I think he just won that right at the end there too. That was a really great pick. I'm very impressed.
Your random Potamon on the 2nd hint that you didn't lock in. That one might have done it, but yeah, that was this week's game show.
I did shit this time.
Yeah, you fumbled. The Tentomon one, I was like, he'll get this one for sure.
When I think chosen one, I just don't think Tentomon.
Exactly.
Or like not chosen one. I think of like who gets less love than Tentomon, you know? I'm not saying Tentomon has it good, but I think
no, he has it bad. You could say that. If somebody disagrees with you. No, dude. If some people, Tentomon, statistically speaking, is the least represented of any Digidestined partners in the entire card game.
Yeah,
it's like no one. If you get somebody in the chat being like, Bug Andes have it too good, tell them they're wrong. That's just incorrect. There's more Kunemons than Tentomon.
Thanks, Trix, for helping us out.
Yeah, you've now played 2 out of the 3. Next time we got to get you on for Mem Gauge, and then you'll have done the full suite.
Tricks. Maybe he is going to trick us.
Maybe it's the Jesmon players. Maybe they're all good at Mem Gauge.
Maybe.
Well, we do be yapping.
You just got to give him a Savior Hucka one clip. One memory Savior Huckmon, and just
I think it's fun that Dex can kill you with Blitz from one memory. And he's like, I don't.
Someone save me, please.
You could just avoid the question entirely. It worked for Jamie.
Tell me about the color purple.
We could talk about Savior, but I'd like to really talk about Yellow Vaccine and how that's really bad for the game. What was the question? Oh, my time is up. Unlucky.
But yeah, this was another fun one. Next week, I don't know if we're gonna be live, bro. We have a regional, so this channel will be live for basically most. Is it Saturday or Sunday? When's this regional?
It'll be a Sunday, the 5th.
Yeah.
Sunday the 12th.
This Sunday we will be live for a very long time.
Not this Sunday. Not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow. Next week. Because we'll be on the OPE Twitch and here on YouTube. So yeah, providing the restream works correctly, we'll be here and come have fun. Hopefully you'll see these guys, but they'll be playing cards instead of staring at graphs.
Oh, I just know how my round one's gonna go. I'm gonna throw up before I actually get down and playing. It's gonna be awful. I hate round one.
You'll hit me again.
No, but like, I don't want to play round one.
200 something people at Games Expo. My round one was Marcia.
Yeah, that was epic.
Trix, have you ever had any team kills in our runs?
The Raid and Trade Ulti Cup, my round one was Saf. I was like 200 plus people, and of course I run into the regionals winner and the person who went on to win the whole tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. Okay, fair. I guess retroactively, if we're adopting Usman for the next regional, then like my team kill round one was Usman, where he smoked me and then had to go play Saf later. But besides that, I think I've avoided team kills outside.
I get killed a lot
in the 3v3. I guess we faced up, but we were also like half of the 3v3. So like,
I've lost to Faye, Balfi, and Marcia.
And Jamie.
Oh, I've lost
and
to
Jamie. Oh, you made me mad remembering Jamie's again. Nobody that I like has ever sacked me that badly. Last check, freaking Jerry play Leomon, lose the event, bubble out of top 32 for the first time in 2023. Hell yeah, brother.
The curse.
Let me tell you about Jamie Conquest and his stupid Leomon.
And his really cool markers that currently... You can't currently. He's had to put it on holiday because you guys have been buying too many markers. At some
Put
point,
on your wish list on Etsy. Conquest Collectibles.
Yeah, and we'll have a code for it as well, so you can get 10% off. Not this week because we need to get the regionals done. You took my opponent's win percentage to the moon. True, you cooked. I was not doing anything for your resistances. I can tell you that much. But yeah, thanks for joining us, gang. This week we may not do Boko because I still got Boko to catch up on, and me and Trix haven't eaten, so like Lamau.
Okay,
maybe next week or the week after it'll be, I don't know, best yellow cards of all time or something. We'll come up with fun stuff again.
Whoa,
Yeah,
I will not take yellow slander. Me Tamamon is sick.
Follow the TikTok. We haven't plugged that a ton.
Yeah,
Andrew put it on the slides, but at Misplay for Game Pod on TikTok. Maybe we'll do a funny TikTok thing at the regional. That'd be fun.
Well, we'll do a
YouTube short for sure. But...
Well, Usman shows up on Thursday, and we can go to our Thursday locals, so he can be in the predict your win or whatever.
Yeah, follow us on the. Oh yeah, those have been going dummy. Thanks for all the views on that. That is the code. But yeah. Follow us on the TikTok. I know the US is trying to have that thing shot down, but like otherwise, Lamau YouTube shorts are there. But follow us on the TikTok whilst it's there. You can be one of the chosen few. And also, if you're at the ultimate tier, and you see us at the regional, maybe between rounds, if I'm not mid-cast, come say hi. I'm running out of sleeves, so like, yeah, if you're like one of the higher tiers, I'll grab some sleeves for you. But yeah, that's it. That's us for this week. Another banger in the books. Maybe we'll take a week off and then we'll be back, hopefully relatively consistently, like we always have been. But yeah, card games are sick. Card games are sick next format, and we're nearly done with this waiting room.
It's this year. Card games are sick this year.
They are sick this year.
Yeah, we're in there.
2024 is not for the wolves, but it is for the card game players.
So true.
All right, catch you later, gang.
Okay, bye.
That was not the right one.
Baba Booey.
Baba Booey, fuck off.